Hello everyone, welcome to IRC. We're on round 10 of this 22 round season then, and I gotta say then this is the final of the triple threat header, isn't it? Of course, where we've had the two epic races so far, haven't we? And of course this is the final one, which has been such a difficult road, hasn't it? As we went from Monaco to Vietnam and now to Singapore. Brutal, I tell you, absolutely brutal, isn't it? And well, let's see what they can do then for this final road then on the street, on the well, I gotta say the on the streetway. It's been brilliant, hasn't it? As I quickly turned down my old oh gosh, my old stream now. Gosh, that was really blowing my ears out there. Yeah, you can see Max is retired from the session then. So the man has been on pole position a couple of times this season. Then will not be on pole position here tonight, will he? Then is we got a Racing Point who is popping out of the pits now, and we got a couple of I can't seem to find him, to be honest. I thought there was a Racing Point coming out. We got Lucas, who's joined as well. Of course, Lucas, a former IRC elite driver. No, he will be getting going as well. There we go. I found someone. And of course, there we have got Mason C, who is making his debut tonight as well. Quickly, let me get off the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Remember that this is a 23-turn course around here. So it's a lot of old corners, isn't it? It is a very tough old street circuit. Been on the calendar since 2008, and the first night race as well, wasn't it? Which was brilliant, wasn't it? Back in the day, if I remember, I was because I think the ITV player was just a new thing, wasn't it, back then? And I sat through practice 1 and practice 2 for the first time. I was watching those practice sessions. I think that's the first time I ever watched a practice Formula 1 practice session. I was absolutely loving it. I got really excited about this as well, and even to this day as well, I love Singapore. It's the modern day. It's the modern day jewel in the crown of Formula 1, isn't it? I think it's brilliant stuff indeed. Then. As we're just watching Mason, and we'll talk about the debutants in just a jiffy. But before we do, of course, we've got to go for the drivers and the constructor standings, I think. And of course, we will get through that in just a minute as well. So I'm just quickly getting my sound sorted out because it's blowing my ears off. Gosh, I'm gonna have only one ear working by the end of this. Good gracious me, then. So Mason now is just coming through the final turn as well, then, and let's get on it then. So let's go on board then with Mason C, the debutant. So I'm really interested to see how he does that, because I love it when I see a new driver in here, because it's really it just makes it a little more interesting, doesn't it? And he's even got my favourite number there as well, which is car 21 indeed. Lovely stuff indeed there. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors. And Maxi, who's leading the championship, coming into round 10, but unfortunately he is starting from near the back of the grid then, and that is not good at all. Maxi, of course, had issues, didn't he, last time out in the Ferrari, which meant that he only finished, I think, 6th position, didn't he? Yeah, Maxi is now, his lead is down to 8 points, and Steve is coming for him, isn't he? Steve is, of course, the man who won last time out as well, in fine style as well, Steve did, didn't he? And it was very much a fight to the end, wasn't it, really? As Sprint was going for his second race win in a row, wasn't he? Of course, after that fantastic race in Monaco, and he could have got 2 in a row as well, couldn't he? But Steve held firm, and took his first race win of the season there, believe it or not. Then 3 DRS zones around here. We got to one on down at Raffles Boulevard, which I think is this here actually, and not actually the place that I normally say, because I get it completely wrong. One on the start finish straight, and then one in between turn number 5 and 7 as well. As Mason there taking a very acute angle there, going into turn 18, I believe that is. Going back to the driver's stands, and T. Sammy in third position, the championship leader. Can he make up some ground here tonight as well? Sprint in 4th position, and cracking season sprints having so far. Really good stuff indeed then. Timmy Moon at 2 positions up to 5th, and he's displaced Matt and Roscoe down to 6th and 7th position. Hog Moon at 1 position. Fizzy also in the top 10 as well. Mason goes fast on a 37 there, right out of the blocks as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. And Asdog is dropped down 2 positions in 10th position. But he's in the top 10 as well. Snap getting his first points of the season last month. Congratulations to Snap. He's up to 15th position as well. In the constructor standings then, as we got Hog, who's gone fastest, 3 tenths of second in front of Mason so far. In the constructor standings, Alpha Tauri, I was going to say Alfa Romeo. Alpha Tauri is currently leading the constructors by 9 points from Alfa Romeo, who is second at the moment, as Timmy's gone fast as well. And Timmy, of course, I think he was on pole position last time. I'll have to check my notes. Here comes Fizzy. Oh, look at that back end stepping out there. Oh, he's getting very, he was on the power quite early there. I love it. On board with Fizzy as well, and Alfa Romeo second, 9 points behind AlphaTauri. Third position is the Ferrari team, 12 points away, and Haas 19 points away. That is the top four. The top four is covered by 19 points there. It is very much, it's so close, isn't it? Brilliant 17. McLaren are in 5th position now. 6th position is Red Bull, Mercedes 7th, Renault 8th, Racing Point in 9th, Fizzy is fastest, and 10th position is the Williams team, who haven't scored a point just yet. Indeed, then, as oh gosh, we got a couple of comments as well there. Comments. I'll come to you in just a few moments, guys. It's great to have you all on for the stream as well. I hope you're enjoying. Oh goodness me, Mason's lost a bit of the end plate there as well. We're watching Gaz at the moment then, and a lovely shot here from the street circuit as well. Look at how beautiful this has been lit up there. It's absolutely stunning, isn't it? There's a lot of voltage out there, isn't it? And I'm sure there's also going to be a lot of electricity in the air when we really get down to the nitty gritty of this IRC Singapore Grand Prix. Val has gone into 6th fast at the moment now. The second Renault of Double is gone 7th fast at the moment. I was speaking to Double earlier on. New Life has retired from the session. He's in the pits at the moment though, so I'm not sure he's come a cropper off the track then. We're on board with Azstock then, of course. I gotta say, Azstock, of course, a IRC legend in his own right, isn't he? He's had a couple of race wins behind him. He had last season, he had 2 race wins, didn't he, to his name? Fantastic. And I'm loving the helmet as well. 2 race wins to his name last season. He won in Azerbaijan, and he won in the Spanish Grand Prix, didn't he? Really got the strategy absolutely bang on form, didn't he? Good stuff. Yellow flags is fluttering in front of us, as it is when the Mercedes of Fizzy coming back into the pits then, and as we're on board as well. No, I apologise. It wasn't 2 minutes on pole position. It was sprint as well. That's why I take notes then, as my brain just hasn't got the capacity, you see, to remember back a week. Goodness me. Let's go to the comments, shall we? Great to have your comments and great to have your feedback as well. I love all your comments there, and of course keep them all coming in, because I need a lot of help, as I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time now. So yeah, you guys are the experts. I'm just a ginger who speaks about cars going around in circles. Azog has gone fast at the moment. He's done a 36 flat then. Lovely stuff. 3 tenths of a second in front of Fizzy. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Here comes Matt. Matt is on the as it comes into what used to be known as the Singapore Sling now. Every time we commentate on this track, I get very disappointed, because I used to love the Singapore Sling. They took it away, didn't they, in 2013. They've really taken away a challenge, haven't they, on this circuit? So yeah, I'm a bit disgruntled by that, but unfortunately you can't have it your own way. As if I had my own way, I'll still have the old Hockenheim circuit as well, from back in 2001 and before then, when they blasted through the trees, didn't they? And don't get me wrong, the new Hockenheim circuit is good, but I prefer the old one. Yeah, just going. We got Bennis saying, Bennis Daman saying, come on Gaza, sprint evening Sean. Good evening sprint, hope you're well then. So we got Bennis as well saying, Gaza Army. Ayrton saying, hello Sean, you look nice. Well, thank you, that's the biggest compliment I have had all day then. It must be one new haircut. Matt goes full fast at the moment, and lovely stuff indeed there from Matt then in the AlphaTauri. Struggled a bit in Vietnam, didn't he, a couple of days ago. Here comes Rizzlesticks then in between at turn 5 and 7 now then. We've also got Rachel saying, come on Gaz. We got a lot of Gaz comments. I'm loving it. We got a good old fan club for Gaz here tonight. He's currently in 11th position at the moment now, on his debut as well. As I said, we're talking about the debutants in just a jiffy as well. Just watching the Ferrari at the moment of Rizzlesticks at the moment there, as you can see, in car 15. Lovely stuff indeed then, as we're just on board as he comes through the Singapore Sling as well. Oh gosh, I got I don't know. I think I've had a real long day at work, so yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me, folks, because I gotta say I'm a little more dappier than usual. Here comes Rizzlesticks coming down the Singapore Sling then, and I gotta say I quite like this turn there, but my best memory of that turn in IRC is when Slim unfortunately crashed. Well, the safety car crashed, and then unfortunately Slim crashed behind him, of course, when IRC had the division. Oh, lead! And oh no, Rizzlesticks instead of Carter Kane now. He's gone into the barrier, and unfortunately that's not good at all. Also, Danny Ricciardo crashed there in 2013 as well, on his final appearance for the Toro Rosso team, which is now the AlphaTauri. The Toro Rosso team, weren't they, when its final appearance for the Toro Rosso team in Singapore, I should say. As Rizzlesticks coming into pits. Here comes Roscoe, who is coming out on circuit at the moment. Val is having another bite of the chair as well. Here comes Matt, then he is on a in-lap by the looks, and Val has gone 8th fastest now. He's 4 tenths of a second in front. Lovely stuff indeed there. Lucas said good evening, Sean. Good luck to everyone. As Chris is saying, come on the boys there. And Rachel Hughes saying, Yellow Army. As is that a Torquay United fan there, or is it? I'm trying to figure, or it might be even. I think the Torquay is yellow, aren't they? Yeah, I think they are. I'm trying to figure, or maybe they're a Dortmund fan as well. Of course, I used to be a big old Dortmund fan, but of course, Klopp has come to the great Liverpool as well, which I think I also insulted Rizzlesticks the other week, didn't I? I very rudely called him a Scouser, didn't I? A Liverpool fan, which of course I think I really upset him. But I'm just testing to make sure that he listened to my listened to the nonsense that I was saying during the race as well. Of course, unfortunately, I'm one of those dirty Liverpool fans there. So yep. So if anyone wants to give me any banter, then I'm all ears. I'm all ears there as well. So just watching Roscoe there coming into turn 7 as well. Turn 7 is quite an infamous corner, isn't it, for Lewis Hamilton? Because that is the corner where unfortunately he had to pull off and retire from the race in 2012, which basically put him on a course to drive for the Mercedes. And all the rest is history, they say. Of course, also in 2011, I think him and Massa came to blows there as well, didn't they? When they had their little spat, didn't they? Which I got to say, Massa and Hamilton just seem to be at the same place every time, didn't they? It's a funny thing, isn't it, where you seem to come to blows quite more often than not, and don't you, with drivers, where you seem to have incidents more often than not with the same person, which is really odd, isn't it? But that's how it goes in Formula 1. And in 2010 as well, unfortunately, Hamilton and Webber came to blow as well. In that 2010 Singapore Grand Prix. Of course, as I said, this track has been on the calendar since 2008 in the world of Formula 1, so it's been brilliant stuff indeed then. Dale Martin, Southport FC. Oh, lovely stuff indeed then. Of course, I apologise, Southport fans there. I am not up with the old football at the moment. I pretend I am. I pretend I'm cool, but I'm really not. I'm just a Glory supporter, really, and I. So all I know is about the Premier League, and that's it. Roscoe going across the line. He's 10th fastest at this moment in time. Lovely stuff indeed then. PB is in the pit set. For you regular viewers out there, PB doesn't usually come out on that circuit then. He is in the Haas then, and I wonder if Haas only has one car in qualifying. I've always said that PB just doesn't like to use up any more tyres than what it needs to be, but I'm wondering if Gunter Steiner there is only allowing Stee out there, perhaps. I'm not sure. Of course, I think it's more likely PB is probably just got his feet up at the moment and just enjoying himself as well. I was going to say enjoying the sunshine, but I don't think that's the case at the moment, is it? Because winter is coming, is the guy from Game of Thrones would say. The only guy I know from Game of Thrones is Jon Snow. So again, and that just shows how out of touch I am, not only with football but with all kinds of shows as well. Having said that, I've now got a couple of days off from work then, so I'm going to be binge watching The Tiger King as well, because I've seen all the memes and stuff and it's really intrigued me. And yep, I am also a couple of months behind everyone else as well. So we're on board Steve at the moment, and as he's coming under the bridge as well then. 23 turns on this circuit, and there's a lot of turnage, isn't there, around here? And I've got to say, your arms are going to be very tired at the end of this one. They really are, because you get a good old workout. This is also the longest race in terms of time this season. Then, so of course, I hope you are in it for the long haul. I know you haven't got to rush off anywhere at the end of the race then, because I think that we're going to be pushing past 10 o'clock here tonight. And that is if it's a dry race as well, and if there's no collisions. Roscoe's coming back to the pits now. Anyone who is, as we're just watching Gaz at the moment, who's in 13th for this moment. Good stuff indeed there for Gaz. We've got 2 retirements from qualifying. We've lost Maxi. I've also lost New Life as well, unfortunately. In this qualifying session, let's just quickly go through the rules. So if anyone who is new to Formula 1, welcome. I hope you're enjoying yourselves at the moment, because I certainly am enjoying myself. Of course, I always enjoy myself, don't I? But of course, if anyone's new to Formula 1, let's just quickly go through what is occurring then in this first qualifying one session. We've got 3 qualifying sessions then, Q1, Q2 and Q3 then. In qualifying 1, we've got 18 minutes then, and I love Gaz's helmet, by the way. That's absolutely beautiful, and that's not a euphemism, by the way. I do love Gaz as he is it's a cracking helmet as well. I think that's the 1995 Michael Schumacher helmet when he was driving the Benetton Renault, and he was almost in the barrier there, wasn't he? Coming out of the Anderson Bridge there, but good stuff indeed there for Gaz. Lovely. As just watching We're just watching Rizzle Sticks. He's got the Schumacher helmet from 2000, and I can't say I love helmets because, of course, it's the driver's signature, isn't it? So really, it's like a footballer when they have a signature number. It's like with that's what I feel is you shouldn't really chop and change your helmet too much, because of course that is your signature. That's your identity, isn't it? I know, and of course, if any of you long-time viewers know T-Sammy has the green helmet, and you know when you see that in your mirror, that you're going to be in for a scrap, aren't you? Of course, T-Sammy, the defending world champion from season 7, as he's come back to defend his crown for season 8 as well. Good stuff indeed there. Maxi at the moment there is of course at top in the driver standards. He has got a lot of racing to do here tonight, though, if he wants to get on the podium at the very least. Then Singapore, though, has thrown up incredible curveballs over the season, over the years. Of course, one of the most famous Rizzle Sticks goes 8 fastest. Rizzle Sticks, I think he had a very good qualifying performance in Vietnam, if I remember, but unfortunately the races just didn't go well at all for him, did it? Roscoe back out on circuit as well. Roscoe goes 7 fastest. Lovely stuff indeed. Then we got Double, who's at 29 of a second down. Here comes Gaz then. Gaz looks like he's really finding his groove at the moment. JJ and PB and Maxi are currently out qualifying at the moment. New Life is also out of qualifying as well. On board with Gaz once again, and I am hopefully pleased. Oh, lovely shot here from the racing point. Look at how beautiful and shiny and clean that bodywork is from the racing point as well. Of course, when this race debuted back in 2008, there was all kinds of bits and bobs off the cars, wasn't there? I gotta say, I do love the 2008 McLaren. It's a work of art, isn't it? But I do prefer when the bodywork is a bit more clean, like it is today there. Because it's the aerodynamic devices, they were nice, but yeah, it just looks cleaner, don't it? So just watching Gaz as well. I was saying I'm hopefully on my P's in the Gaz fans as well, as we're just watching Gaz, and of course making his debut tonight, and he's doing I think he's doing a very good job at the moment. His teammate Mason's doing a cracking job as well. We haven't seen much of Mason yet, have we? But he's 11 fast at the moment now, and he is looking very comfortable to get into qualifying 2 at the moment in team at time. Then you can see, look at how dodgy it is coming into the pit lane. That's a very technical word, isn't it? But yeah, it's very difficult to come in the pits around here, isn't it? Coming out of the pits is even more difficult, isn't it? Because of course if you just go over the white line, you will get a drive-through penalty. Of course, just watch a Double at the moment. Another IRC veteran as well, and of course I was talking to Double earlier on in the week, really, as we had a Super Cup, didn't we, 2 weeks ago, and Double was behind me, and I think he was just waiting for me to make a mistake by the sounds of it. So, which I can't say. That's why I'm up in the commentary box, everyone, because I am very dangerous behind the wheel, real life and also in game mode as well. So yep, that's why I always try to take the bus. Just watching Double Cream Cat then. I think he's on is he going to go around again? He is going around again then. I wonder if Double there is just trying to work these tyres a bit then and just get himself in the groove. This circuit is a confidence circuit, isn't it, really? Where the barriers are close together, isn't it? So really it's all about mind and of course about control of the car, isn't it? And you're on board there with Double as well then. He's in 13th position at the moment then, and he's done a 38 so far, and Gaz in 14th position, but he's through the qualifying 2 as it stands at the moment, and Double on DRS then as we come down the back straight then, and flying flying by me I should say then, as we go into turn 7 as well. Double's head there is just leading the wrong way, wasn't it? Goodness me, I hope his neckhand got tired so early on then. And look at this, taking a couple of bites of cherry there through turn 8 as well. I think that's where Schumacher unfortunately decided to go over the top of Verne now, didn't he? And unfortunately that really paid to Verne's experience of 2012, didn't it? Of course, if we talk about oh goodness me, the checker flag is flown. I've been talking, and I haven't really spoke much interesting things at all really about Singapore. But I was going to say the most famous Singapore race is called 2008. We'll leave that in the back of our minds, folks, because that is going to be a chat for qualifying 2, I believe. For now, though, we're just about to finish qualifying 1, and this is how they are then. So Maxi is out of qualifying, so is PB, and so is JJ as well. All 3 of those guys are unfortunately out of qualifying. Don't worry, fans of those 3 drivers, they will be back in action for the race there, which is coming up in less than an hour's time, about 45 minutes or so. Then I don't really time qualifying, to be honest, because I'm just so enthralled, and I love these drivers that really going to their edge of their limit and beyond there for 1 lap pace, and is into the pits. There comes Double, and he is And I think he was just trying out the car then. So on board Steve then, this is just on board now then with Steve. He's gone for fastest. There's me about to say that the Steve's a little bit off the pace there. He just puts me on my place as well. I've got to say I'm really intrigued with Feezy and Asdog Runner, looking very strong at the top there. Lovely stuff indeed there from Asdog and Feezy there. Of course, former race winners in IRC. Great to see him right up in the thick of the action as well then. So lovely stuff indeed then, as we're just coming down at Raffles Boulevard. No, then it's the back straight then. I keep getting that completely mixed up there. But yeah, that's the end of qualifying then. We're just watching Steve then, as he is just having a extra lap around Singapore then, as we wait for the countdown to tick down then to the end then. I got to say then, the most I wasn't saying that really, am I? The most famous race in Singapore probably 2008, of course, if anyone remembers that race. Fernando Alonso won. I'm sure he wasn't he 16th on the grid or something like that. I know he was around the midfield area, wasn't he? And Nelson Piquet mysteriously crashed at the exit of turn 19, and it brought out the safety car, and Fernando Alonso just coming to the pits, didn't he? And that really helped him, didn't he? And he went on to win the race, Fernando Alonso did, didn't he? And that might also be the race where Massa looks back up and think of that, possibly, if that race wasn't maybe the crash gate enough, and he may have won the championship. If buts and maybes, of course, that's a good thing to really think about for an alternative universe kind of thing, isn't it? But unfortunately though, for Massa that didn't really help him, did it? And of course that infamous fuel rig glitch as well for Ferrari there, which was very disappointing, wasn't it? So yeah, and of course Fernando Alonso won that race, and that was his first of 2 races that season, 2 race wins as well that season, wasn't it? So good stuff for Fernando. He didn't need anyone to help him out in the race, the Japanese Grand Prix, which was hosted in Fiji, wasn't it, that season as well, before they went back to the Super Suzuka circuit a year later in 2009. And talking of Suzuka, that's where we're going next week, everyone. So of course that's a real driver circuit, isn't it? Looking forward to that one. But of course there's me trying to get ahead of myself. We hadn't even started the Singapore Grand Prix race, have we? Goodness me, I've got to slow my horse. Our qualifying then, we have lost Maxi, PB and JJ. They're all out of qualifying, unfortunately, but don't worry guys, they'll be back in qualifying 2 in just a jiffy. No, they won't. They'll be in the race in just a jiffy as well. I don't know what I'm talking about these days. So yeah, so those guys will be in the race then in the not too distant future then. So we're going to get into qualifying 2 in just a few moments' time as well. This is a street circuit, so you would think that qualifying is quite pivotal in this race. And it is very pivotal, don't get me wrong, but of course it's not as difficult as trying to overtake in Monaco, for example, or maybe Vietnam as well. Albeit we did have some cracking overtakes, didn't we, in Vietnam? Really, I got to say, the first experience that IRC had, I'd say is top notch, 10 out of 10. It was fantastic, wasn't it? Right, we're in qualifying 2. Then we've only got 15 minutes for this qualifying 2 session, and you see there on the top in the left-hand side tower, we've got a couple of we got the names of the drivers. We've also got the tires as well. Of course, the red marked tires, those are the soft tires. That's the fastest tire, the quickest tire, but of course it's the least durablest. We have the yellow marked tyres, which is the medium tyres, and of course that is in between the most durablest and the least durablest, or the fastest and the slowest tyre, and then of course the hard tyre, the white stripe tyre, is the slowest tyre of all, but could last for a long period of time then. And there's that pit exit there, very tight, isn't it? Rosberg unfortunately had some issues out in 2009, didn't he, when he scurried out the pit lane a bit too happy on the old accelerator, wasn't he? And unfortunately that cost him a drive-through penalty, which also cost him some major points as well, I think, for the Williams team back in 2009. Then, of course, that was the season before he went to Mercedes, didn't he? And that was a very good move for Rosberg, wasn't it? Of course, where he partnered up with Schumacher, wasn't it? It was the a German dream team, wasn't it? Mercedes, German manufacturers with Rosberg and Schumacher. And I got to say, as much as Schumacher didn't have as much success in his return to Formula 1, I really enjoyed his return to Formula 1, I got to say. And I just quite like watching him more, to be honest. It was I think he drove more for fun than competitiveness, didn't he? Of course, everyone wants to win and all that, but I felt we had much more of a human side, didn't he? Schumacher did, and it was really good to see from my point of view, anyway. Of course, there was another German winning it, wasn't it? And of course, that was Sebastian Vettel. And talking of Vettel there, well, 2015, when he was on board the Ferrari, there was a man on the track around that part of the course, wasn't he? As I think he was just trying to get a better view or something. It was a really odd experience. It wasn't like before, where we've had people on the track. If anyone remembers the 2000 Grand Prix back in Hockenheim in Germany, once again, in Germany, I'm talking about Germany quite a lot tonight, aren't I? But of course, back in Hockenheim, Germany, where he did have I think it was an ex-Mercedes employee, I think it was, very disgruntled. had a raincoat on and had something about Mercedes on it, but yeah, that really changed the face of that race, wasn't it? And that race was cracking as well, wasn't it? We had a safety car out. It really hurt, I'm sure it hurt David Coulthard, and it really, I was a big old David Coulthard fan back then, so very unhappy I was. And then of course that race was where Barrichello won his first Grand Prix, wasn't it? And it was a really good race as well. Button also did very well indeed. Of course, Barrichello stayed on the slick tires, I believe, didn't he? Where it was absolutely bucking it down the stage, and then and then of course on the long fast part of the track it was completely dry. McLaren went on to the wet tires, I believe, didn't they, or the intermediate tires, and that's why, and I think that's what gave the Barrichello the advantage as well. I think an unsung hero that day was Frenz as well. Frenz started 17th on the grid with Barrichello 18th. I think Frenz had some kind of issue, I believe, several on. So I was like, I need to rewatch that race actually, don't I? I think I might be doing that in the next couple of days or so. So I think that's my weekend sorted. No Formula 1, no problem at all. Let's get out the old classic, shall we? On board with Steve at the moment then. So Steve is coming the first man to complete his time then, as he's just come over the Anderson Bridge now. There he is. And of course, talking of new life is retired from the session. Talking of the Anderson Bridge, I think Felipe Massa, one of my favourite overtakes of Felipe Massa was when he overtook Bruno Senna. Albeit it wasn't really, it didn't start much of an overtake, did it? Bruno Senna squeezed him, but it was a cracking overtake, wasn't it? I love that overtake. Really good stuff indeed then. Yellow flag in 2. We got a racing point 2's coming cropper, and it's Gaz. Gaz is having major issues there. He's going to have to do a 3-point turn to get there. He just about avoids the Tech Pro barrier there, and he is away then. As Gaz got damaged then as well, as I can't get off board with Gaz actually. Oh, he's okay. Gaz is good stuff indeed there, as he was very close there to damaging his front wing, but good stuff indeed there. Back on board Steve then, so he's coming the first man to set the pace in this qualifying tune. He's done a 36 right off the blocks then. Good stuff indeed then. What about the Renault? He's done a 36.5, 36.9 there for sprint on medium tyres. Matt on the medium tyres. Well, Matt's looking very much on it like a car bonnet tonight, isn't he? He's right into third position. Lovely stuff indeed there from Matt then, of course, and he's looking much more on song here tonight, isn't he? Timmy goes into third fast. He was very quick last time out, wasn't he? In the very quick last time out in the Grand Prix, wasn't he? He finished second, didn't he, in Vietnam? Fantastic. Asdog has just done a 37 now. Lovely shot here from Asdog's rear wing. Beautiful. Look at that. You can see the whole body of the car there. And look at that packaging, isn't it? Very tight indeed then. Fizzy there is coming down at Raffles Boulevard, I think, as we finally got a DRS zone around here. I don't think we had it last season, did we? If I remember rightly, which I probably don't, because yeah, my memory is gone to absolute shot lately. Just watching Val as well. Of course, this is Val's first season then, and at the moment he is my rookie of the year, which means absolutely nothing to Val, really, does it? But of course then, and of course when the awards do come out towards the end of the season then for IRC, I think that I'm talking about awards already, we ain't even halfway through, goodness me, I'm really jumping the gun there, ain't I? Val goes 7 fastest, but he's been fantastic, Val Haas, hasn't he? He's definitely my rookie of the year so far. Really good stuff indeed. The second Mercedes and a Fizzy has done a 37.7 now. I think that might be more of a classic Mercedes sandbag there. So we see what Fizzy can do on his second round around here then. Rizzle 6 head in 12th position by now. Just watching the Ferrari now. Mason has just gone over the line as well. And just watching Rizzle 6 head, and I think he's cruising at the moment. And we've got a lot of cars backing up there. Backing up there at the final chicane as well, and I think that it's of course the map on the track map on the right hand side as well, that shows you where the action is as well. Of course that track map was introduced I think it was second half of the season last season in RC there. I've got to say it's made things much more easier to spot when there's issues, doesn't it? The track is quite full at the moment, isn't it? We've got well, it was quite full, they're all just steaming back into the pits, and there's all the guys that was out there on circuit has just come back into the pits as well, so that's probably cute just to get back in the pits then. On board of Mason at the moment then, so we're halfway through qualifying 2 now then, and as it stands there we've got our top 10, but that is no way set in stone, and that will change quite dramatically, won't it? And back on board of Mason as he goes over the Anderson Bridge as well, and so I can't get off, I can't go, so just for some reason I'm in real trouble getting off board with people here tonight. He's coming down Raffles Boulevard as well, Mason is then, and big forward, and now he's on the final part of the course as well then, as we're in Sector 3 then. Let's see what Mason can do as well. Of course, I know we've got 2 debutants here tonight in the Racing Point then. So, Racing Point then, there's going to be a lot of pressure on these young guns, these young Chargers. But let's see what they can do as well then. Rizzle Sticks has done a 150 then, but I think that he's going to have to go around again, and unfortunately, but Rizzle Sticks is on the more durable medium compound tyre. Mason comes out to the line, he goes 6 fast at the moment, good 17 there from Mason, a lovely 17. Here comes Rizzle Sticks then on the back straight as well, and you can see taking more of an acute angle there in turn 6 there, which is more, it's not really a turn, so is there, going over the curves there, struggling the curves a bit there, Rizzle Sticks was, but he's on his way nonetheless in the Ferrari, and good stuff indeed then. Here currently his target time to get into qualifying 3 at the moment, a 37.7 then. Let's see if that is doable then for Rizzle Sticks then, but I feel that bar is going to be getting lower and lower as the track goes on. Track evolution around street circuits, it's usually quite steep, aren't they? So expect these times to be tumbling like a fruit machine later on in the session then, as just watching Rizzle Sticks out the Anderson Bridge as well, down Raffles Boulevard then as well, as he is 8 seconds up in the second intermediate split time. That's a cracking second intermediate split time. Of course, he was cruising on his first lap there, wasn't he? Of course, that's 8 seconds on his previous best there. Not the current pole, not the current fastest lap, which if it was, then goodness gracious me, Rizzle Sticks there would be on fine form, won't he? Under the grandstand as well, lovely stuff indeed there, as the tyres will be screaming hot at this stage, and it's such a long old lap around here, isn't it? 136 it is, isn't it? There's lots of turns around here. It's quite a slow average lap speed around here, isn't it? Rizzle Sticks goes to length fast at the moment there on those medium tyres then. So Gaz is back out on circuit as well, and let's go back on board then with Gaz at the moment, and I've got to say I think that Gaz and Mason have done really good work, good work so far. Lovely 17, and of course it's very nerve-wracking when you're on your first race. I bring this up quite a lot in the IRC, but when I had my first race in IRC, I got to say I was rubbish, really rubbish, really. I think I finished I think it was in Abu Dhabi season 4, I think it was, and I think I finished quite a distant 12th position, 13. I'm sure it was actually full team. So yeah, basically I was slower than a slow thing. I was basically like the milk float on that day, really was that. As I damaged my front wing as well, I'm thinking that it was a bit like career mode where you can just drive around it. Oh no, you can't. Then these guys are pretty quick there. They're quicker than the hit cup, aren't they? As Gaz coming through down through the Raffles Boulevard as well. Then as now then he is coming into the final part of the course as well then, you can see into the chicane, and yellow flags for the Ferrari of Rizzle Sticks coming back into the pits as well, as Rizzle Sticks there is the only Ferrari out there as the championship leader. Will be starting 18th on the grid there. Gaz straightening out the car a bit too much there, wasn't it? Bottas crashed there in 2019 if I'm not very much mistaken, or was it 18? I think it was 18 or 19 really, wasn't it? Those years seem to match together for me. Gaz comes across the line, he has done a 39.7 at the moment there for the racing point. At the moment that is not good enough to get himself out of qualifying 2 at this moment in time, but we still have 5 minutes. He has 5 minutes to rectify that. Here comes Roscoe, and he is in the Red Bull then. Let's see what he does then as he comes under the grandstand. Well, of course, great helmet design there for Roscoe. Of course, celebrating 50 years of Formula 1 this season, and it's a shame. I've got to say, it's a quite a fitting way to celebrate 50 years of Formula 1, isn't it? With some great tracks returning to the calendar as well. As Roscoe goes 8 fastest, yeah, some great tracks return to the calendar. Of course, I'm talking about Imola for one. That's going to be fantastic. Nürburgring is coming back. I was hoping it would be this week, but unfortunately it's next week, isn't it? For the Eiffel Grand Prix, I think is what it's called anyway. To us, you might just call it the Luxembourg Grand Prix. That's what I would have called it anyway, or maybe even just call it the German Grand Prix. But then again, I'm quite a simple man. Also great to see Turkey back on the calendar as well. Of course, Turkey last raced in 2011. I think Imola last raced in 2006 or 5, wasn't it? Around that era. So just as Matt's gone fast, it's not force in rain, and there is rain here coming down here in Singapore. That's why I paused there, because I was wondering what was dropping from the sky, and it is rain. There's perspiration dropping from the sky, and there is going to be 4 men that is really going to be concerned about that, isn't there? So rain is now started to fall from the heavens here in Singapore as Fizzy goes over my head there, and it really gives my mop a good old chop there as well. Got to say, the rain looks absolutely spectacular under the floodlights, doesn't it? But this is not what these drivers want, is it? I know this is really up the ante, hasn't it, here in the qualifying session. Who is going to reign supreme then for qualifying 3 then? And wow, who's going to reign supreme for qualifying 2 then? These are the dire moments of qualifying 2 where you're going to be able to get a good time, and then Fizzy has jumped right up into second position. He's got as Gaz said, is 2 seconds down then. He needs to get himself sorted as quickly as possible. Roscoe is 4 seconds down in the second split time. Here comes Timmy coming across the line, and Timmy goes He's a 10th down, actually, Timmy is there. So something's gone wrong in the final sector there. Mason's out of circuit now. He's gone to the soft tires. Can Mason on his debut get into qualifying 3? That'll be fantastic, wouldn't it? Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I got a bit of man flu. Don't worry, I don't think it's the that horrible thing going around the world which has really caused havoc, hasn't it? As T. Sammy has retired from the session now. He is happy with his day's work, isn't he? We haven't seen much of the championship yet. Oh, goodness me! And Mason's in the wall there. And, oh gosh, how did he not get damaged there? That is unreal there from Mason. Incredible stuff there. I thought that would have been done and dusted there, but no, Mason's okay. And, good stuff indeed there. I thought that he would have been done and dusted there, but Mason there somehow keeps it out, somehow doesn't damage his car, and they make him strong, don't they? It's Silverstone. Fantastic stuff indeed there from Mason. Of course, Racing Point, who is, even though it's a Canadian-based team, as Double is also down on his time as well, even though the Racing Point is a Canadian-based team owned by, of course, Lawrence Stroll. Of course, it's still based in Silverstone, of course, and it was the Jordan team, wasn't it? From 91 to 2005, and I gotta say, it's one of my favourite teams out of the Jordan team, wasn't it? Because they had so many cracking years indeed. And of course, I think they showed flashes of brilliance, didn't they? Of course, 94, their first pole position with Barry Keller, wasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken. Then they had his gas is coming into the pits there, as unfortunately the rubber is too heavy now, and car 25, if I'm not very much mistaken, indeed it is, into the pits there, and I think that might be done and dusted there for Gaz as well. Rizzo 6 out up the moment, so he might be a bit too late there to the party, so to speak. DRS has been disabled. I think that is official. He is too late. When DRS is disabled, that means that that rear wing does not open. As Timmy there almost coming to grief there. As you can see, he's cruising back to the pit lane, just want to make sure he doesn't get any damage there. Mason in through into qualifying 3 at the moment, as we just watched the Mercedes there on the dolly wheels, so get wheeled back into the pit lane. Look at this, so we're on board Rizzle 6 with 59 seconds to go in this qualifying session, and there's a gazebo behind them. Then I think they're going to need that, because when it rains in Singapore, it does absolutely pelt it down, doesn't it? The only goodness me, I was talking about the wet concert there, wasn't I? And I'm not going to start singing "Love Is All Around" because that's not what we want to come in here, is it? But Rizzle 6, goodness me there. And I gotta say, that is more like a rally car than a Formula 1 car, and Rizzle 6 has come back into the pits there. And unfortunately, I think that unfortunately he's going to have to call it a day, and that is the end of his qualifying session, unfortunately, as he's now coming in the pit. Said that is such a shame, isn't it? That's kind of an anticlimactic end to qualifying, isn't it? And look at that Ferrari on dolly wheels as well. Both Ferraris are out of this race, out of this qualifying session, I should say, before he even got to qualifying 3, unfortunately for Rizzle 6 then, but as he wheels being wheeled back in now as well. But I'm sure he can go and find some ice cream there, as his former Ferrari driver Kimi Räikkönen would attest to as well. At the end of that, Matt was on as the fast setter into qualifying 2, in qualifying 2. Then lovely stuff indeed there. Fizzy second at the moment, and we've got Steve in 3rd position. Hogg is in 4th then. 5th position is T. Sammy with Timmy 6, Mason 7, Sprint 8, Roscoe 9th, and Val in 10th position then. Medium tires for everyone apart from Matt, Hogg and Mason. Keep it on that. That's going to be pivotal at the start of the race then. Unfortunately, we have lost Asdog, who once again this season troubles continue, don't they, for Asdog? He's a top runner, but this season's not proven to be a good season, is it? Rizzle 6 in 12th position, Double in 13th, and in 14th is Gaz, and New Life with no time in 15th position as well. As Gareth said, even though happy with getting into qualifying 2 there, yes, it was good stuff indeed then, wasn't it? As we're now getting ready for qualifying 3 then for the Singapore Grand Prix, and remember, 12 minutes to determine who is going to be pole position then for the Singapore Grand Prix as well. This season we have had 4 pole sitters, and unfortunately we've already lost one of them. Maxi, the man who's got currently the most pole positions in this season, is on 4. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case here tonight. And intermediate tires is the name of the game here tonight, isn't it? So for qualifying 3 as well. I wonder how it's going to be in the race then. The other men on pole position this season, we've had Sprint, who's been on pole position last time out in Vietnam then. Can he make it a second, a double trouble one there? Steve, who also has 2 pole positions, and T. Sammy does as well then. Who is going to get pole position then for the Singapore Grand Prix? Timmy is out on circuit. We've also got, I think that was a hard set coming out, and look at how wet the track is there. Oh goodness me then. and that track has got very wet then, but I can't see any rain falling from the sky anymore. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a dry qualifying session towards the end as well. It's this part of the world, then there is no rain. There is no rain then, so I think this track is going to dry up. So this might be just banker laps for these guys then, as the best way to dry a Formula 1 track is get some cars out on circuit then. And of course, at this part of the world as well, it is so humid, isn't it? It feels like I'm in Singapore, to be honest. I'm very humid then, but unfortunately I'm just overweight and slightly unfit, because I must get very sweaty. I must be unfit to just get sweaty from talking. Steve then at the moment is just out of turn 7 as well. So yes, it's very humid around here, so of course I feel that the dry tyres will be in the not too distant future as well. But I think having a banker lap is definitely a smart thing to do, isn't it? Because you don't want to end your qualifying in 10th position, do you? Because you decided not to have a banker lap as you never know what could happen. Then of course these drivers do have a weather system, but you can never always rely on that weather system, can you? Remember Malaysia 2001? Ron Dennis bet his house, didn't he? There's as he was saying, his strategist says that it was going to be a dry race. Oh, he was very wrong, wasn't it? It was absolutely bucking it down, wasn't it? We had a safety car. Both Ferraris were 10th and 11th position, and remember they was on a good season that season, wasn't they? Of course, they was the only team to go on the intermediate tyres, and of course they won that race, 1-2 in the end, didn't they? It was a crack race. I think around half distance when the safety car came out, only 11 cars will remain then, and of course we're too far away from Malaysia at this part of the world as well, so anything can happen. But I can see that the track is already drying out. Remember, it's quite wet in the pit lane. It's very dry, and Steve almost into the Armco barrier there, but luckily putting on the brakes there, and also making sure that he doesn't damage that car as well, in which Gunderstein will not be too happy about, would he? I wonder if Steve's going to carry on then. He is carrying on then, so let's go on board then with Steve then. Of course, the man who's been on pole position twice this season, who won the last time, so DRS is enabled. I reckon that T Savvy is called it absolutely spot on. He's on the soft tyres and he's ready to come out then. But as I mentioned before then, we do have downpours around here more often than not. Then sometimes you cannot rely on the weather forecast at 100%, can you? But I think T Savvy there is very much relying on that, and that will give him the march there as well. So he, on his second run there, why is that pivotal? On his second run, he will know where to brake. He will know exactly where to grip as well. These guys on the intermediate tyres, they're just going for a banker lap, aren't they? And remember that it's such a longer lap around here, you're only going to get 2 runs anyway, and of course that was the reason why they extended qualifying at 3, wasn't it? Because it used to only be 10 minutes long, but it was really tight for anyone in like folks Spa, for example, which of course is the longest circuit on the calendar, isn't it, Spas? And of course we will go to Spa in the second half of the season, if I'm not very much mistaken. Yes, that is the case. So I had to look down the calendar there. It's not a real bad feeling that we've already been to Spa. Well, I got to say then, only 2 men are out on the intermediate tyres then. So the guys in the pits then are having a quick turnaround then. Sprint is now put on the soft tyres. C is having some real issues there, isn't he? He comes out of the Anderson Bridge now. Down Ruffles Boulevard then. As he is at purple in the second sector. He is the man. I wonder if they're going to abandon this up and come back into the pit. So I think they might do. As just watching at Steve then, as he's wrestling with that car then. T Sammy out on the circuit at the moment, and look at them all, they're all on the soft tyres. We've got Matt on soft as well, we've got Hogg also on the soft tyres then. Good stuff indeed then. We're back on board with Steve at the moment. Look at him wrestling the car then. It's too dry for those intermediate tyres now, isn't it? And I feel that this lap, oh my goodness me, Steve is on an adventure, isn't it? Those intermediate tyres are not going to get him any I don't think it's going to get him anywhere up the grid, is it? So yeah, he's abandoned the lap and he's come into the pits then, and see then unfortunately you see normally the rule of thumb is go out there, set a time, isn't it, when the track is probably at its best then when it's raining, but not on this occasion. The rain came and went there in such a quick fashion there, didn't it? So let's go on board T Savvy. He's been on pole position twice this season in Australia and in Abu Dhabi as well then. And now we're on board T Savvy then, and look who's in front of us. That is Mason in front of us. He gets right out of the way. Good stuff indeed there for the debutant. We're on board with the signature lime green helmet of T7 as he now comes onto the back straight as well. The understeer there from T7 in turn 5. DRS right on the money then, and he is the only man on the far side of the mountain. In front of us we have an AlphaTauri. Look at the track map on the right hand side there. There is a AlphaTauri, and there's there's a racing point in the wall. no, that's Mason, who is I think he's just cruising. I think he's cruising. He's okay then, as he's still got all his pieces pointing in the right direction. T-Sam now into Singapore Sling, which is not a Singapore Sling anymore, is it? But yeah, we're on board then with T-Sam at the moment. As yeah, lovely stuff indeed. Then as we're coming over the Anderson Bridge as well. Then, and yes, so in front of us is an AlphaTauri, and also there's a Renault driver. Sorry, there's a Renault car as well. Then, and he is an 05 in the middle sector as well. Of course, he's going to be the first man set time then, as we're just counted down to under 6 minutes, and it's going to be very tight for some of the drivers. Then Steve and Timmy, who were out on track down the intermediate tyres, and they've elected to stay in the pits then, and so good. They're going to have one run. They've got to say it's going to throw back to the single shot qualifying, isn't it? Nope, not anymore then, because now Steve and Timmy are out on circuit then. I wonder if they'll be able to get 2 runs in there. It's going to be very tight indeed then. And T-Sam there, there's Matt in the foreground then. Of course, Matt is just started up front. T-Sammy, I apologise, might have a bit of honest there. He's on a 37.9 there, so the track is slightly green still there. What about Roscoe? Roscoe coming, he's just started his lap as well then. We keep an eye on what Roscoe does, and Sprint has started his lap then. We got Hogg out on circuit as well. There's a lot of timed runners out there at the moment. We're keeping an eye. One of the Mercedes is starting his lap. We've also got Val also starting his lap as well then. And goodness gracious me, then we've also got Mason behind as well. There is Mason at Davidson. Fantastic stuff to see him in qualifying 3. Really good stuff indeed then. As now Roscoe is down the back straight then as well. I'm just taking a look to see who's on the who's the closest man who is on a lap at the moment. Sprint is on a lap then, but it looks like he is behind Timmy at the moment, isn't he? So Sprint, I'm thinking, might be getting held up here by Timmy, and he is backed off there. Sprint has said. So I'm not sure if we caught up the wrong part there for the wrong part there, which made Timmy look a bit guilty there, or if Sprint already abandoned his lap there. So we're going to go on board with Hogg then, who is down at Raffles Boulevard now. Then he is on DRS at the moment. Good stuff indeed there from the Renault driver, and here he goes. And oh, look at that! Then it's the back end is flicking out. Then T-Sammy is currently on pole position at the moment, going for his 3rd this season as well, and that means he'll be 1 behind Maxi as well. And I really would like to see Maxi and Steve, and of course T-Sammy now having another battle, because we had a glimpse of that, didn't we, in the Dutch Grand Prix? I want to see more of it. We're going to definitely see T-Sammy and Steve it's Hogg there having major issues there. We're definitely going to see T-Sammy and Steve there locking horns there. I'm wondering if anyone else is going to get in the mix as well. Let's take a look at Hogg. He goes fast, and he is 8/10 of a second in front there, T-Sammy, and that is a statement of intent there, isn't it? Fizzy there is getting very happy on the throttle. Then into the pits goes Roscoe as well. These guys are abandoning their times. The reason why they're abandoning their times, because look at the top left hand corner. That is the countdown clock. Fizzy carries on, and Fizzy's on pole position there. A 35.862 there from the Mercedes driver. What about Val? Val is second fast, and a great time there. And Mason's in third position. The track is getting quicker and quicker at this stage of proceedings. Good stuff indeed then. Timmy there on board now, coming over the Anderson Bridge there, and just further on is Steve at the moment, and Steve and Timmy was out on the intermediate tires not so long ago. 03 in the middle section there. Now these times are starting to really ramp up, isn't it? And here is Steve Nannes. We're just watching him coming into the final part of the lap. So let's go on board there with the man who won last time as well, Steve. And I got to say, this man is a talent, isn't he? He's fantastic, really, is that? Another veteran of the IRC getting, isn't he? He's been brilliant, hasn't he? And I got to say, he was probably one of the championship favourites, wasn't he? I think if you looked at the this was I'm really terrible at betting odds, by the way. We'll come back to that in a minute then, because Steve is on pole position then by 0.2 of a second at the moment. Timmy then, who was very much in the game, wasn't he? Last about he's third fast at the moment. His Fizzy is showing that he has got some pace in that Mercedes here tonight then, and they're all coming back in the pits as well. 2 minutes to go in this session then. Steve and Timmy have really got to get their groove on, haven't they, to get themselves back in the pits if we want to have another go. So then as we got yellow flags fluttering around then on the Mercedes then. So T-Sammy out on circuit mode, and he was fastest, wasn't he? He's the first man to set a time on the dry circuit. He is down in 7th position at the moment then, but I think there's more time in the bank there for the Greek champion, isn't it? I know you can see then as he is just weaving from left to right then as well, just trying to get some temperature to those tires. So it's now the calm before the storm, isn't it? Yeah, just going back to the betting analogy, wasn't it? Of course, if in terms of who you think was the favourite coming into this season, you would have to say it would have been T-Sammy, Maxi and Steve, and that would have been the order, wouldn't it, really? But So far, Max has just come into this season and really torn out the form book, hasn't he? In eight starts, he's had 4 race wins, 4 pole positions, 7 podiums. The only time he didn't get on the podium in the race was back in Vietnam last time out. He's had 2 fast laps, and he's had driver of the day as well. But what he hasn't had, of course, is a of course, a DNF, which is, of course, very pivotal in this day and age of Formula 1, isn't it? Of course, points is basically awarded out down to 10 finish now, isn't it? Which is half the field, isn't it? So really, keep your nose clean, and you potentially might get some points on the board there. So Timmy has gone fastest there, and goodness me, he's going to be very unhappy with me, as I've been talking about T. Sammy, and he is on pole position there by a 5/10 of a second, and good stuff there from Timmy. And he fueled up for a second by the cherry. Good stuff indeed there for Timmy. Lovely stuff indeed. Then can he get his first pole position since the Canadian Grand Prix way back in season 6, if I believe, when he was driving the Mercedes? Fantastic stuff there from Timmy, and he is top of the tree at the moment. Is going to be able to stay there. Guys in the pits is Fizzy, Mason, and Val and Steve. They didn't have enough time to come in and come back out then. Half a minute to go then, as we got Roscoe coming through the final turn. There's an Alpha Tower that's in the second to last chicane then. He is going to be very nip and tuck there as well. Who is it? It's Matt then. So Matt then has only got 22 seconds to get to the end of the lap then, and the start line comes out quite quickly on you, doesn't it? So he's got 18 seconds. That should be enough time then. It's not going to be as close as the Hamilton issue in Russia. He's got 9 seconds. That is a night and day, isn't it? He had no pressure at all. That good 70 then. Hog is on an outlap for the moment, but he's invalidated his time. Hog has, and Fizzy also, unless I'm desyncing, which is a very exact time, might not be right in the top right hand corner there, left hand corner there. So if that is right, if that is wrong, I very much apologise. T. Sabanen is coming down the Raffles Rule bar as well. Let's go on, boys. A second, and he's almost 2 seconds up there in the second intermediate split time. Good stuff indeed there for T. Sammy, and now then he's coming into the final part out of turn 18, and this is of course infamous for PK's crash, and also infamous for Grosjean, who crashed in the same place in 2009 at practice as well then, which was quite ironic, wasn't it, really, as because that was the weekend where all this crash really came out, wasn't it? So yeah, but Grosjean there probably wasn't very popular, and it's quite ironic, isn't it? Through the final turn as well, Timmy is currently on pole position, but T. Sammy might be stealing that away. He has stolen that away by a second and a 10th. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Brilliant stuff from T. Sammy, and he is on pole position then for the Singapore Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed. Fizzy comes across the line. He has started his lap as well. Hog is also started his lap then. Let's see then where the Renault is. So at the moment it's T. Sammy who is at the moment. He is the man. He is the man on pole position. Roscoe goes still and fast and said he has finished his lap then for Roscoe. He's a bit disappointed by that run, I think. Matt is done an 0-3 in the second sector. What about sprint? Sprint is on pole position. It might be 2 for 2 for sprint then. And once again, this man is absolutely coming of age here in IRC. He's fantastic. He is Mr. Fantastic. No, Matt is on pole position then by 700 of a second, and Matt has nailed it as we come into the final part of qualifying. Hog is improved as well. We've also got Fizzy. He is going to be last one across the line, so we're keeping on with Fizzy does. Hog is 3/10 of a second up in the middle sector. Matt and Sprinter's got first and second to run. That's a fantastic qualifying performance for Matt in his first pole position of the season. As it stands at the moment then, Hill's Rapar readout is coming in just a few moments, my good man, but before we do, we need to check to see what Hog does. Here he comes then. Hog has been brilliant this season, hasn't he? Let's take a look then. Final turn 22, 23. So fast as that, and here comes Fizzy. Lovely shot here. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed there from Fizzy. Half a second up in the second intermediate split time. That is in the ballpark. That's in the ballpark for the pole position here for Fizzy. And here he comes then, as he is now into the final part of the laps while the tires are screaming, and they are screeching, and then look at us. Fizzy is wrestling the car, and he has got 2 more turns to go as well. Here we go then, and now the final turn is going pole position. He is 4 fastest in the end then. That's still a good time, but Matt is on pole position then for the Singapore Grand Prix. He loves street circuits, don't he? And he is absolutely done has done it so well in qualifying, and he is now our 4th man, our 5th man I should say, who's been on pole position this season. And the Alpha Tauri team are looking very strong at this stage of proceedings, aren't they? Good stuff indeed then. Now can Matt convert that into a race win then? So that has got to be his aim now, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed there from Matt. His first pole position of the season. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed, and lovely. And that's a lovely ending scene, isn't it, for Singapore? Brilliant stuff indeed then. Let's quickly go through the final. Look at that. Let's go through the final classification from qualifying 3. AlphaTauri 1-2. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Can he do it in the race as well? Then they've been really good this season, haven't they? But it's Matt on pole position by the slenderest of margin, 68 hundredths of a second there from T. Sammy in third position there. Fourth was Fizzy. Fifth position was Timmy. Sixth is Steve. Hog is 7th. Val 8th. Mason in his debut. 9th. Fantastic. And Roscoe in 10th position there. As it looked like it didn't go at all well, did it, for the Scotsman. Hills Rapper said, hey bro, good to hear you. Good luck to T. Sammy. Well, T. Sammy at the moment is currently in third position, isn't he? He can win from there surely, but he has got 2 AlphaTauris in front of him. He has got Timmy and Fizzy behind him, and don't forget his championship rival Steve as well. This is a pivotal weekend, isn't it, for all championship protagonists as we go into round 10. Right, I'm adjusting my seat because because this is going to be frantic, isn't it? Is Frank Mead there, a regular contributor of this of course IRC event here on for every Thursday night, of course, on the IRC YouTube channel, and of course it says Frank Mead, hey Sean, let's go. Jan saying that, well done Matt, indeed. That as of course Jan, another regular viewer of IRC. Great stuff indeed. That it's great to have you all along here for the ride then, because this is going to be a bumpy old ride here in Singapore, isn't it? It's a difficult street circuit, of course. Mostly street circuit, and also the starting grid though is permanent. I think I've learned how to drink quietly, so I'm really happy with myself there. Anyway, here we go then. Yep, we're now going for the formation lap as well. This is a long, hard race, isn't it? Yeah, I'm saying let's go for an incredible race, guys. Of course, I hope all you guys have got your snacks and everything along with you, because this, as I said, is the longest race of the season in terms of time. Of course, Italy is usually one of the quickest. This is going to be one of the longest, isn't it? Let's go for the grid from first to last, from pole position there, which is Matt. He is on pole position. He is on the soft tires as well. Is that going to... Oh, as we got a disqualification already, as Gaz and Rizzle 6 have come to blows then. Oh dear, that's not good at all, but don't worry, we see him in the race. Oh, we got a lot of disqualifications. Oh, goodness gracious me then. And those guys are going to have cold tires then to start the race, and that is also going... oh, goodness. And as Dog and Risticks are on the hard tires, that is going to be very difficult indeed for those drivers. Anyway, let's go for the grid, shall we? We've got 31 laps around here. So, yes, this is a long, hard slog, isn't it? It's sweaty in Singapore, isn't it? These guys are going to be earning their money today, earning their keep in IRC. It's a tough race, possibly the toughest of the calendar now, with Malaysia no longer on it, possibly, potentially. Well, Matt is on pole position. He is on the soft tires. Also, Hog and Mason, 7th and 9th position, soft tires. Well, we've also got soft tires for Gaz and JJ, as they want an attacking formation right from the get-go. Hard tires then for 3 drivers. That's double Asdog and Rizzlesticks, all 11th, 12th and 13th position then. And that's a very quick preview of the tyre situation. So Matt is on pole position, great 17, sprinted alongside him, medium tyres. Third position then is T. Sammy. We've got Fizzy up in 4th. It's great to see Fizzy back up there, isn't it? And I think Frank will definitely attest to that. Great 17. Timmy in 5th position, Steve in 6th position, and Hog in 7th. Val is in 8th position, and 9th position is Mason on his debut there. I wonder if he's got butterflies the size of eagles in his stomach there, but he's in 9th position now. He's already, he would love to get some points on his debut. He's just making sure the overtake button is working out. Good stuff indeed then. Roscoe in 10th position, Alzog 11th, and Vrizzlesticks in 12th position then. Double in 13th position. He's the last of the hard tires. Gaz in 14th position. New Life hasn't turned the wheel yet in his qualifying session. He is 15th. Remember his debut in IRC, he finished 2nd. Can he keep up his 100% podium run? We'll find out there from New Life, and he's down in 15th. JJ in 16th position, and it looks like a problem for Williams there. I think he's just practicing burnouts there. PB in 17th position there, of course. I think he always arrives just in time for the race, doesn't he? As he's in 7th position, and on board the championship leader, which is Maxi. He is on the medium tyres. You can see that we've got 1 stop from medium to hard. All the soft tyres is going to be 2 stoppers then. Interesting stuff. And there is JJ just lining up now then. We have 18 cars around Singapore. And this is going to be dramatic, isn't it? Right from the get-go. Lovely shot from Matt's cockpit then. As he is watching those lights. We have 5. There's a pause. And we are go here in Singapore. They're off straight away. Oh, that's a cracking start out from Fizzy, isn't it? And then look at this. We've got down turbo. We've got 3 abreast already. We've got 4 abreast still. Oh, they've gone into each other. There's a Mercedes who's spun around. Oh, a terrible start here. And we've got a safety car. 5-second penalty for us. Look, it's a virtual safety car already. As they're going to have to slow down, aren't they? And yeah, there's damage. I think there's going to be a lot of damage as well, isn't it? Oh, we've also got Maxi's got a 5-second. It's for his teammate. Maxi's up to 11th position already. Good stuff indeed there from Maxi. So we're just watching you live then. Yeah, so Val's been spun around then, and Asdog also having issues as well. And virtual safety car, they have to adhere to a Delta. T Sammy is up in his 2nd position. Good stuff there from the world champion. The sprinters dropped down into 3rd position there. We've also got Roscoe up 2 then. JJ's up 6. Goodness me, he's took off like a scolding cat. He's up into 10th. Fantastic stuff from the Williams driver. Really good stuff there from JJ. The championship leader, Maxi, is also up 7th position. Well, he's been the big mover. And also PB up for 4th position as well. Unfortunately, Val and Astor will drop down 7 positions. Pete said as well. Keep an eye on the Williams guys. He needs to score points then as we're on round 10 then. We're not back racing just yet then because we're waiting for that virtual safety car to get. We're green, and here we go again then. Matt needs to make hay while the sun is shining. He is on those soft tyres, isn't he? As they come down Raffles Boulevard for the first time here in Singapore then. So Matt leads, 2nd position is T Sammy, 3rd position then is Sprint, 4th position is Fizzy. Here's Timmy in 5th position then. What about Steve? Has he got damage? He has got major damage, and Maxi's already passed JJ as well. JJ's going to try and go back up the inside. No dice then for JJ. He stays down in 11th position at the moment, but good some detail for JJ. And Maxi already up in the 10th position. He's coming through the field incredibly quickly already, isn't he? As we're on board then as well. I've got to say, I was looking up in Scotland. I'm sure it's saw rain, but that might be me just imagining things at the moment there. And we'll keep an eye on the weather situation as well. Matt set the fast lap of the race, and as we come through the complete lap into the pits comes Mason, and this will be his first RC pit stop then for Mason as Hog has moved up to 2nd position. A fantastic attempt, and JJ has also moved up to 3rd. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Mason's the first man in the pits then as here he comes in, and here's his first RC pit stop there for the racing point, and he is on the soft tyres, and Asdog is also in the pits as well. As soon as the tower sorts itself out, we'll sort ourselves out as well. Look at those cars, and as it is getting very close, isn't it, as they come down the back straight as well. Roscoe, we're on board with Roscoe at the moment. He's a bit of a ghost at the moment, isn't he? Hog is in, he's not in 12th position as well as the guys in the pit lane. For some reason leading it the race at the moment, but it's Matt who is leading the race so far. He is in the lead, and all the guys in the pits then, I think the tower will sort itself in a minute, but those guys in the pits are not a long way ahead of the guys in 5th position. They are just getting those, they are just changing those front wing. They've all gone to the medium tyres and as such at the moment then. I love the shot here from Matt then. And look at, as Matt is on the soft tyres, but T Sammy at the moment now, it's looking very comfortable at this stage of proceedings, isn't it? We're only on lap 3. We're already on lap 3. Goodness me, I was going to say we're only on lap 3, but we're on lap 3 already. It's a very long lap, isn't it? As the tower is still sorting itself out there, and it's got to say, it looks like a fruit machine over there, doesn't it? So it keeps tumbling down, doesn't it? Steve Mona is going to have some issues there as he has got damage to his front wing, isn't he? He's going to have a lot of understeer in that Haas car, isn't he? So he's got to so he's going to have to really adjust to that, isn't he? Quite quickly as well, because he cannot let his rivals there get past anytime soon, do they? Maxi is now up into 9th position then. Good stuff indeed there for the championship leader there once again, then flying through the field, then doing a cracking job, then avoided all the mayhem that happened on lap 1. Matt set the fast up lap of the race, but then it was quickly changed. As Hog is having issues. Hog's had major issues. He's spun it on the final turn of turn 23. Oh goodness me! As he is now just spinning the car around, and he is getting back on his way. He needs to be careful though, because those tires are going to be streaming hot now, aren't they? And look at Double then, as a Double is feeding the prince there from New Life. New Life, as we said, he's had one race start in IRC, and he was in 2nd position now. He's got a long way to go to get. Oh, and who's that? That's Hog again. Hog is again. It's off the circuit there, and oh dear, so he needs to, those tires are too hot, isn't it? He needs to keep car on the accelerator, and just make sure that he just dabs it then until they cool down. Then back to the I apologise, because we got Maxi is also Maxi is battling with Roscoe, and then Roscoe is dropped down to 8th position now, because Roscoe is Maxi is through. He is up into 7th position, and Steelan is going to be a bit disappointed to see that, isn't he? Maxi already in his wing mirrors after only a couple of laps, and fantastic stuff from the championship leader once again, right from the get-go. Maxi is not taken no prisoners, is he? As Gaz has dropped down to 18th position now on his debut, but he's still in the race then, and this is going to be a very long, hard slog in this one, isn't it? So it might be survival of the fittest, and Hog is having issues again then. I'm not sure if, I think, is there a balance problem there with the Renault? I'm not sure what's going on with Hog, but he's having major issues at keeping the car in a straight line then. At the moment in time then, as we just did on the last lap then, Matt set the fast lap, then it was T Sammy, then it was Sprint, and Sprint has got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he? He is doing a cracking job. This stage of proceedings in IRC, he is in a great run of form. No fast lap this time. That's a Mercedes! That's Fizzy! There's a problem in turn number 23. They keep spinning around there. And major issues, and Steve is in the pits then, and that's really going against his strategy. Fizzy, there's a major issue in turn 23. They keep spinning around. Is there oil on the circuit? That is Hog and Fizzy now that's had major issues in turn 23. And there they are. They're changing the nose cone, and C is now onto the hard tyres then. I doubt I'll be getting to the end of the race then, but I've been wrong many times before, and I'll probably be wrong on this occasion too then. I'll be interested to see what C does from there. Back on board then is Russell Sticks' pass Hog as well. Hog is struggling, isn't he? He's dropped from the points down into 16th position as well. Maxi is now 2 seconds behind Timmy. Maxi already up into 5th position there. Fantastic stuff there from Maxi. He's not only quick out front, he's also quick coming through the field as well, isn't he? And that is a frightening prospect, isn't it, for his championship rivals, for the likes of Steve, for the likes of T Sammy. And Sprint is an outside bet as well, isn't he? Because Sprint has been in incredible form, hasn't he? Over the last couple of events here in this triple threat header, hasn't it? And what do we mean by the triple threat header? I've been going on about this, haven't I? Because Monaco, Vietnam, and Singapore all in a row. I got to say, just have Azerbaijan in there as well. And goodness me, that would have been quite a frightful quartet, wouldn't it? But of course Azerbaijan will be later on in the year. I think it's in a couple of races time actually. Azerbaijan is, and that's another street circuit which Matt will be looking forward to, because Matt's very good. He's a street specialist, Matt, isn't he? He's won around Monaco, hasn't he? He's also won around Azerbaijan as well. So coming through to complete a lap 4 now, and here are the leaders, and they're almost 3 seconds in front of Timmy, who cannot live with the speed at the moment, can they, at the front free? And it's incredible speed as well. These guys are very rapid at this stage of proceedings, aren't they? They need to keep their nose clean now, because it might come down to strategy. A lot of races in Singapore history have come down to strategy over the years, hasn't it? We're back on board Sprint. He is Fizzy's in the pits then. I wonder if Fizzy has got some issues there. Yeah, turn 23 has claimed 2 victims, and that's not usually a turn that I expect to be to have major issues around. But yeah, that's currently the case at the moment. Maxi right on the gearbox, and Timmy at the moment. Timmy in 4th position then. And again, having another strong race at the moment, Timmy is, but we're only on lap 5, of course, as we come into turn 10. Fizzy coming out of the pits now. Steve is now back onto 11th position. His day damaged his front wing on the opening shenanigans of this race, didn't he? And look at these cars, and they're very quick, they're very bunched up as well. Val is now on the gearbox of Double as well. Double is one man that usually in the past of RC is a points getter, isn't he? He's a very valuable part of any Formula 1 team this season there, of course. He hasn't had as much testing on this team on this season, has he? Which is why he's still on the back foot, and it just shows how competitive the field is, doesn't it? Yeah, Double, when he gets back up to optimal speed in Formula 1, he will be back in those points at no time at all. And Val is just going to the back of Double as well, so they're coming over the Anderson Bridge, and here they come then. And Val there is almost into the wall there as well. Lovely shot here from the Renault as well, as of course it's a spectacular event Singapore is, isn't it? As I said, it's one of the newest jewel in the crown of Formula 1 as well, is now to come down Raffles Boulevard once again, and Maxi is now all over the back of Timmy. We've also got oh my goodness gracious me, look at these 3 cars there. And Timmy almost went off as well, but Maxi there has his foot planted to the floor, and he's having a 4th position. Roska going very wide out of turn 23. I'm not sure. There must be something down at turn 23, or there's some major issues there with these cars there when they've been full with fuel, because they're very slow and they're very sluggish there out to turn 23. JJ in the pits there. He's up to 8th position. Fantastic stuff from JJ. Unfortunately, he's had to come in the pits there. And T Tommy's going for the lead, and he's on the outside of Matt. He's on the outside. Matt is not giving it in, so he runs him right there. But T Tommy is free, passes, and he takes the lead of this Singapore Grand Prix. One of the soft tires that have come to the end of their life, and Matt might need to pit at this stage then. But T Sammy leads the race then on lap 6 here, and Let's see what he can do now, and this is going to be interesting stuff indeed. And Val has just got past double as well whilst we was watching the action at the front then. Yeah, good stuff indeed there for T-Tommy. Is he now going to pull away? We'll find out as well. Lovely shots indeed then. I've got to say, I love the helicam shot here. It's absolutely beautiful stuff indeed, isn't it? This track is a work of art at night, isn't it? And look in the background, you see that red Ferrari? That is Maxi, the championship leader. Then there he is then. He is now 2.2 seconds away from sprint at the moment. He is coming, isn't he? He is coming to the back of these guys as well, and I got this race is far from done, isn't it? Anything can happen in this race, and it normally does. And we've just gone back to a 14th and 15th position, which is Maxi's teammate Rizzle6. Maxi has taken out almost half a second in the last part of the lap alone. Now Maxi has got a really planted Ferrari at the moment. So PB just in front of us at the moment in the Haas then as Matt is coming into the pit, so those soft tires are done then. And the pit window is, of course, the graphic is beautiful, isn't it? And the pit window is open then. So Matt is into the pits and he is the first of the top rounds coming to pits. Roscoe's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane for the Red Bull driver. Matt is on a 2-stopper, I believe, from there, as we see on the graphic on the build up to this race. So then Matt then is coming in out of the pits now. Then where is he going to come out? New Life on the medium tires. Well, he's done 6 laps and the same as the front runners. He is now up into 5th position. Then Matt comes out of the pits in 6th position. Then Val in at 7th position in the Mercedes, double up into 8th. Fantastic stuff. Roscoe coming out of the pits, and is he going to go in front of Steed? And Steed is out of a wing change. Fizzy is set the fast out of the race there, and he is really setting the track alight, isn't he? And this is going to be this is going to be where a lot of the action is going to be taking place, I feel, in the next couple of laps or so. So Roscoe out on circuit as well. Fizzy is really gaining on Mason, hand over fist as well. Rizzle6 still behind PB at the moment. No, just as I say that, Rizzle6 has passed PB and he moves up into 14th position then. Rizzle6 must have had a good old jump on the final corner of 23. Mason parking it in the middle there of turn 7. And Fizzy ain't going to be able to go around the outside. Fizzy is on the soft tires out for this middle stint then. Let's see if that in fact brings him back into play later on in this race as well. Fizzy is going to know that Roscoe is out on fresh medium tires, so Roscoe is it's not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination either. So Roscoe will also be really right up under his grill in the not too distant future as well. It's Mason going a bit wide as we go over the Anderson Bridge. Lovely action here from the Mercedes driver, and as he comes down, yellow flag, we got a Renault. It's a Renault off. Who's it? It's Hoggy's having a nightmare in the Renault. There's some major issues on that Renault car, and he is really struggling, isn't he? And we're back with Fizzy and Mason. Mason in the top 10, and he's doing a very good job indeed, isn't he, in the racing point. Lovely stuff. As we're now coming into the final part of the lap as well. Maxi's now just over a second. Just so I say that, he's now under a second there behind Sprint then, as Maxi is gone from 18th on the grid up into 3rd. He wants driver today, doesn't he? And doing a great job indeed then. Timmy in 4th position. Then we've got a massive gap there between Timmy and New Life. New Life is 20 seconds back at the moment then, but New Life is going to be pivotal in the later on this race. And it's Fizzy once again, and he had a problem there a couple of laps ago, and once again it's the same as it. 23 is causing some major issues out there, and I wasn't expecting to be saying that tonight, as we're just on board. Look at Mason, he's really struggling, coming out of turn 1 and 2 there, and Fizzy there almost went underneath the rear wing there. Now he is passed, and look at that, that's Steve in the foreground. Steve in the foreground there is a double there, as double and Steve then coming in as battling away as well. Looks like Fizzy is now through, and Roscoe is also going to be through as well. Mason is being dropped down the order, and he's lost 2 positions there in the matter of a couple of laps there for Mason, but he is on the older tyres there, so of course this is not Mason's time to fight just yet then. But maybe, of course, Paul the Wrestler is quite famous, wasn't he, for doing for picking his battles there, and he really helped him out, didn't he, in a lot of races. I think that it was the 2012 or 13 where he had a cracking race around here, didn't he, and really was on the one stop, and I think he was the only one on the one stop in the Force India, which it was called back then, as Matt is now all over the back of New Life, isn't he? He is in 5th position at the moment, sorry, 6th position, and Steve is on the inside there, and he passes double, and he is up into 7th position. Good stuff indeed there from Steve as well. Lovely stuff indeed there. We've also got Fizzy and Roscoe also in close company as well. Oh, that's a Mercedes right off the circuit there. That is Fizzy there, who has gone slightly right there. And Matt is very close to the back of New Life, and we're on board there. He's almost pushing him out. Turn 23 there. And comes out front, leaves the slipstream then as he goes into turn 1. Is he going to have a go? Not quite then. New Life still in 5th position at the moment. This is New Life's first start in the IRC for this season, for season 8 there. And remember, his last start, he got 2nd position then. At the moment then, he is in 4th position. 5th position, I should say. As Roscoe there appearing from underneath the rear ring of Fizzy. He's up into 10th position, Roscoe is. And now then, let's see what he can do then. Fizzy was trying to go up and under, but that is not going to... I don't think that was going to be in the playbook from... that was Roscoe was not going to let that play out, was he? Matt in 2/10 of a second behind at the moment into turn 8 as Rizzlesticks, as PB has got past Rizzlesticks there, as Rizzlesticks are, I know, a couple of issues in that Ferrari. Oh, he's coming into the pit set. That might be why then. Now look at this, and Matt is all over the back road, coming into the Singapore sling, which is no longer there, unfortunately, and it really does disappoint me, doesn't it? Look up in the front there, it's just over a second between 2nd and 3rd position, and they're so close together, aren't they? At the top of the top of the field at the moment. Lovely 70, he goes up and under Matt does, and oh, it's a whisker between those two, isn't it? As they come down Raffles Boulevard again, and so Matt's going to switch to the inside. New Life is on, oh, there's contact. There's a bit of contact there, but of course, but there's no damage, of course, albeit the amount of energy that goes through these cars. That's why a minimal amount of contact really damages the front wing. New Life is really struggling on those old medium tires there, but they've only done 8 laps around here. They need to do a bit more than that, don't they? As Roscoe has passed a double as well, as a New Life they're losing. Well, I would say they're not losing that much time to Timmy, because it's still 20 seconds, but Matt wants to be really charging into the advantage that Timmy's got, and he's not doing that because his teammate New Life is really look at this as well, and it's a New Life fan is defending this thing, as Matt's going to go on the inside. He passes him, and Steers also passed Val as well. Matt has got off the circuit. Steers also passed Val as well. Val down in 8th position, Steve up to 7th position. Matt is now up to 5th position. He has some clear air now. Let's see what we can do from there. Now then, as we're back to the front as well, and here they are then. T7 has really lost a bit of time now. I think his sprint has really started to put the pressure as well. Double is dropped down to 11th position, but Double is on the hard tyres, of course. Then Double is in for the long game. He might be doing a Porta Resta at this stage of proceedings then. So keep an eye on Double with 21 laps to go. Anything could happen in this race, can it? Of course, this is a long one. Hogg in the foreground there. What a shame for Hogg then. He was on such a great event once again, wasn't he? But unfortunately, it's just not playing out for the Renault driver, is on board with Max Sidman, and he is in the Ferrari on the medium tyres as well. Look in front, there's T. Sammy. He hasn't wandered away by any stretch of imagination, because Sprint is not letting him, is he? He's the newest star in IRC, isn't he? Sprint is. He's fantastic, isn't he? Of course, he was when he came into IRC there, he was very new to Formula 1, wasn't he? But goodness me, in the last 2 seasons, he is an unstoppable. Well, he's he's unrecognisable, isn't he, as a driver? It's fantastic to see from Sprint now, as I am once again singing his praise as well. So sorry guys, as I do sound very biased, don't I, at times? But of course I think Sprint has been absolutely phenomenal, hasn't it, really? Of course it was Vanquish, the IRC legend in the Hall of Fame, wasn't it, who was the man that introduced Sprint to the IRC as well. And of course I think it probably rang a lot of alarm bells in the IRC original, didn't it? And I think it's now starting to play out, isn't it? Matt has set the fast of the race, took it to an IRC original. He is on a 40.8 at the moment. Good stuff indeed. And Maxi is currently in at 5th position at this moment in time. Having a bit of connection issues there, but looks from Maxi. Now just watching Roscoe, who is now all over the back of Val as well. The pit window is open then for the 2 stoppers, who's on the hard tyre. Oh, I think the medium tyre is actually rather than the hard tyres there. As Roscoe is over to 8th position, then he passes Val, and away goes. And next challenger for Val is going to be Fizzy. Into the pits comes Mason. So Mason into the pits. This is the second stop there of his IRC career. Look at his eyes there. Unfortunately, we can't see him now then. But those eyes there were fixated, wasn't he, on the pit exit. That's what he's going to be. Look at that then. He's just waiting for the lights. Now he's away then in the race and pointed. Out he goes as well then. And coming down the pit straight as well. And of course, Gaz, who's opening 14th position. Oh, lovely stuff indeed there. Look back at this battle here then. Of course, this is really catching my attention at the moment, isn't it? And of course, it is the battle for the lead, which is the most sought after position in this race. And look at this then as well as Maxi there. I wonder, is anyone going to be triggering the undercut at this stage of proceedings? And they've done 10 laps on these medium tires so far. So at the moment, and none of them are coming just yet. Timmy 9 seconds away at the moment. Timmy's on a bit of a lonely race at the moment, isn't he? In fourth position there is he seems to be kind of in the Verstappen kind of mold at the moment, isn't he? Where the front two, in this case the front three, are a bit too quick. And talking to Timmy, he is in the pits now. Then for the McLaren mechanics getting ready. I was going to say McLaren Mercedes, but I'm a little too early for that. Of course, McLaren as Matt is setting fast up after fast up at the moment. He has passed Timmy as Timmy's on the hard tires there. So Timmy's going for a longer stint. Matt I think has the pit. Can Timmy go to the end from there on those hard tires? And that question will be answered. Will be answered, of course, in this race. So yep, do not go anywhere. Roscoe is past Steve as Steve is in the pits. Is Steve out, of course, the championship contender to T. Samuel Maxi is having a bit of a nightmare race. He is back in the pits after only 7 laps on those hard tires. That is not in the game plan. And Steve then, of course, having a nightmare race, isn't he? And that's such a shame. Then going from the heights of Vietnam to the lows of Singapore at the moment, and he is down in 10th position, and he's back on the medium tires as we got yellow flags as the second Haas is having some major issues. It's PB is facing the wrong way there as he is trying to recover. Oh, he's in the wall. He's damaged the end plate, but he's got back on circuit as well. And so luckily we do not have any safety car or virtual safety car at this stage of proceedings as well. Steve coming out of the pits now. Fizzy is also in the pits as well. So JJ back up into 10th position. JJ's got a very good strong performance at the moment, and Double and JJ are doing really well at the moment, and they're keeping themselves out of trouble. That's the name of the game around here, isn't it? Sometimes it's not about the quickest, it's about being the smartest driver in the course and keeping your car and wheels pointing in the right direction. And of course that might be the aim of the game in this qualifying session, in this race. Of course, Matt is 22.4 seconds away from this battle at the moment. Then, but of course, I feel that he'll be really taking down this battle here. And look in front now. In front of us at the moment, though, is the Renault of Hogg and Bristol Six at the moment. They've been battling away, and these guys haven't actually. They've been catching up to him slowly, but not slowly enough, have they? Slowly, but of course, they haven't been catching up to him like I would expect them. But of course, they are on newer hard tires. Of course, these medium tires are probably not at their best at the moment, but I think that these guys are going for the one stopper here, aren't they? As Timmy is now up into 5th position as well. Into the pits comes New Life. I wonder if New Life might also be on a one stopper as well. Bro Grilla there, former IRC driver as well, as said, good evening, I hope you're all okay then. Yes, we're very well indeed. It's great to hear from you, Todd, and I hope you're having a fine and dandy afternoon, evening, day as well. Double up into 8th position now, Double up into 7th position. Great stuff indeed there for Double. I think Double and JJ could be factors in this race, can't they? And of course, a lot of the strategical plans would not have factored those two drivers in, would they? But that is the beauty. And look at this, as on the inside there, Maxi is through. He passes a sprint, and of course, he's been looking at it for such a while. We got PB, we got a safety car, and is playing beautifully into the hands end of the front on the front three as well. And that is absolutely beautiful for Maxi. And whereas PB gone there, just take a look at the track map as well. Where has he gone? I don't know. Yeah, that's a very good commentator, isn't it? No, he doesn't know where he's crashed, but PB is out of the race then. Is this the time to come in the pits? I think that all three of these will be peeling off to the left-hand side, and indeed they are there. And Max is also doing a dummy as well, but they're all into the pits then. The pit is going to get very compact, isn't it? And this is good stuff from Hogg, isn't it? Because Hogg and Real 6 weren't going to be lapped then, but luckily they can get their pits and they can come back out and catch up to the back of the safety car. And look at that, coming out there. Is that going to cost T. Sammy the race here? And he's going on to the hard tires then. That hasn't cost him not at all then as well. So Sprint is back up into for the second position then, as Maxi has had a longer stop then, and he is back down into third position then. Matt is also in the pits as well, and he gets effectively a free pit stop as well. Is Timmy going to come into the pits? No, he isn't. He is staying out then. Of course, he's literally just put on the tyre stop earlier on, literally a lap ago. So yeah, Timmy and Matt there is just coming out of the pits as well. Roscoe also in the pits. I feel that I'm wondering what's Double going to do. He's on the hard tires, so it's going to be I wonder what Double is going to do here then, Cole. So this is a bit of a conundrum here for Double, isn't it, in the Renault? Is he going to stay out or is he going to come in the pits? I would, well, let's see what he does then. He stays out, Double does then. So Double is not going away from his strategy plan, is he? He's got new life behind him. So JJ in the pits. He's had a fantastic race. Double and JJ are my drivers of the day so far. They've been absolutely stellar, haven't they? They've been immense so far. And let's see what they can do then, of course. So JJ has had a bit of run this season, honestly. Let's hope that he's got River the Green here tonight then. And he comes into the pits and he's changing nose then as well, JJ has said. So I think that effectively this might be not such a free pit stop then, but I think that this is a good call nonetheless for JJ. Mason in 12th position, and JJ comes out the pits now. Here comes Gaz into the pits, and the Racing Point mechanics are about to get to work as well. They're also changing the nose code. That nose don't look damaged to me, does it? But I'm wondering then if Gaz might have picked up a bit of debris in the nose there, so he perhaps might have had a bit of understeer there. As Rizzlestick staying out there, and that's a very late call to release the Racing Point there. And Asdog also changing the nose cone as well on the Alfa Romeo. He is also on the medium tyre actually, whilst Gaz is on the hard tyre. Good stuff indeed. Hog then is now accelerating. He's going to go in front of Asdog. Let's find out then. Asdog is now on the end of the pit lane. There he comes in, but I think this is going to be a race, and Hog has won that race. He is up in his 16th position as well, and Asdog can get some points, and is once again then he is finding himself near the back of the field at the moment. So this safety car has come out, and this has really rattled the cages of a couple of drivers, hasn't it? One of them might be the top three then, who was looking very strong now. So we're not even at half distance this race yet. That's how difficult this race is. It's such a long slog, isn't it? So we're already at 9:30 here tonight, and because this is one of the longest races of the season, of course, in terms of time. Let's take stock. We got 17 cars around this circuit then, and as we're now just coming to half distance now then. So yeah, 17 cars are left then, and it's T Sammy who leads the race at the moment, the world champion. Second position is Sprint then. Third position is Maxi. Timmy in fourth. Matt is in fifth position. He is on the medium tyres then, and he has already done his second stop, and he doesn't need to stop again. Double in a fantastic sixth. He's doing brilliant. New life on his season debut in seventh position. Of course, this is the second race in IRC. Eighth position there is Roscoe. Lovely bodywork action there from Roscoe. Steve had a bit of a nightmare race then, but this safety come on, a bit of a reprieve there for the man who's second in the World Championship. Third position is Fizzy at the moment then. 11th position is Val at the moment, as he is just catching up there. Then we got Mason in 12th position, JJ in 13th, Rizzlesticks in 14th position there. 15th position is Gaz, 16th is Hog, and Asdog in 17th position as well. So we're on board there with the World Champion, which is T-Sammy then. As I'm just taking a break then as well. We're kind of taking a break though, as I was just leaning forward there to catch my breath then. Yeah, so we're kind of to half distance around about now, to be honest. Actually, is that course, so we're on a 31 lap race then, a 31 lap adventure around Singapore, isn't it? And I gotta say, it's been an adventure. As I gotta say, as Steve's might be getting a bit too eager to get going, isn't he? I think that the safety car might be out for one more lap then as well. Of course, the safety car's out because unfortunately PB had some issues, didn't he, in the Williams there, and Williams and the Haas, I should say. Then, of course, Williams need to get some points on the board there, and hopefully they can. Oh, Roscoe's had issues there, and he's got a 5-second penalty. The Red Bull driver has there, and Roscoe is going to be very unhappy. He's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags in the Red Bull, and he's not going to be a happy man at all, is in that Red Bull, as we once again having some issues behind the safety car. And oh dear, then. So I think the safety car will be out for one more lap at least, and if we haven't seen that magical message of the safety car in this lap yet, or maybe we have and I've just missed it, because I missed where PV crashed as well, appalling stuff. So I was like Chris Kamara when that player got sent off for Portsmouth way back in the day. I think it's Portsmouth against Blackburn, wasn't it? But unfortunately PV is out of the race then in the Haas, and that's such a shame. Then Double is going to be Double, of course. No offense is warranted to Double there, because of course he's on the medium tyres, but he might be a bit of a mobile chicane to start this race, because of course he is on the. I thought he was coming to the pits there, because he's on the 14 lap load hard tyres. He doesn't want to divert from his strategy, does he? Double does it. So Double is still in a very good position in the Renault, isn't it? So yes, keep an eye on Double. I think that he might be able to get some some major points there and get himself off the mark then, which is good stuff indeed there for Double. He's a bit of a sort of show tonight, isn't he? Double is there, and of course brilliant stuff indeed then. Same with JJ as well in 13th position now, as them two have kept it very clean and tidy so far, and they should get, so hopefully they can get some points as well. It'd be great to see both those guys get the points then. We got Asdog as Timmy's got a 5-second penalty. That's the second 5-second penalty as well for Timmy. We've had Roscoe, and now Timmy has as well. Has Timmy got damage out to the nose cone? No, he's okay, but oh goodness me, that's not good at all, is it? Getting 5-second penalties then as Asdog is now come out of the pits there, and it looks like that he's run out of tires because he's done 3 laps, or is that a drive-through penalty? We missed that, but he's done 3 laps then on those medium tires. That he's going to have to catch up quite quickly, because I feel the safety car be in at the end of this lap then as well. Great to have you all along with us here tonight as well. Of course, I love your opinions. I love your opinions. I love to know what your thoughts are on the race so far, as we are now at half distance here in Singapore. Then I gotta say it's been a great race for T. Simon so far, hasn't it? But he hasn't had it all his own way, has he? Because Sprint has basically been keeping it in his wheel tracks, hasn't he? Maxi from 18th to 3rd, he has been fantastic, hasn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed. Then Matt, who got pole position, a fantastic lapping pole in qualifying for Matt there. At the moment, he is in 5th position. Double and JJ, I was like keep saying I'm very biased, but them two brilliant at the moment. It's good stuff indeed. Their physio was looking good in qualifying. Unfortunately, the race there hasn't turned out to be quite as fruitful. And same with Steve at the moment. He's having a major problem down in 9th position there, and he's potentially could be losing 2nd position in the championship if things stay as they are at the end of this race. But as I said, this is only half distance. Safety car is in at the end of this lap. We're going to be back racing here in Singapore in a not too distant future. Asdog, he's going to have to really get a move for as he comes down Raffles Ruler Bar, as the guys are just coming into 17 and 18 now on the circuit. So when is T7 going to go then? There is Bert Mylander. He is gone then, as he has taken off. Let's see when T7 takes off as well. He cannot catch that safety car until the safety car peels back into the pits, and there he goes. Right, he hasn't given much distance to the safety car, but he ain't going to be too concerned about that then, because this safety car restart is not too difficult, is it? And then he's going to bolt, and he's gone, and we're back racing it. Oh my goodness me, it's getting very tight there, isn't it? And Maxi is under major pressure. Oh, he was then, because Matt's under major pressure as well. Look, all the cars are across the circuit, and that New Life is going up the inside, and where it says Double is dropping down to 9th for this as well, and it's getting very fraught in the midfield, isn't it? Fizzy's up as well, Val's on the outside as well, as a Double there is Double's being a drop down as Maxi and a Sprint there also fighting away as well. It's all action here in Singapore. Lap 17 as well. Maxi's now alongside, Maxi is through, he's past a Sprint as well, but Sprint will have the inside into turn number 7. Oh my goodness me, and now Matt is going to take advantage. Well, Maxi's dropping down the order, Max is dropping down the order, but Matt and Maxi there are side by side there. Steve's got past New Life as well in the background as well. Good stuff indeed. Asdog's up to 14th. He's at least took off very nicely indeed then. Mason's dropped down the order. Mason's had issues. Mason's had major issues there. Out of turn 8 there. That's issues there from Mason, unfortunately. And this battling has actually allowed T7 to get a 2.5 advantage in the first half of this lap then. And then it's got yellow flags again, and then that's the race. That's the second race point. It's Gas who's got off the circle as well. Gas having issues down in the Singapore sling. Coming down Raffles Boulevard as well in a Sprint then. Matt is now good after the fake, because Martin, there's contact there. Only a slight bit of contact then, of course. That is more race there. A bit of contact is never always a bad thing, is it? Great stuff indeed then is there. Now coming into the chicane then, of course, back on board the championship leader, who's had such a strong race up until this point then. This safety car has brought a New Life as well, right back into the thick things. And Steve as well. Steve's having a nightmare race there, but that just shows you never give up in this game, do you? Anything can happen there. Yellow flag says that's a Ferrari. That's Rizzlestick as well. We've had 3 major issues there. And Rizzlestick's there. Oh, he's tapped the barrier. And now he's he's okay. I thought that end plate fell off then. He's on his way then. His Fizzy has passed Roscoe. Roscoe down in 9th position, and Fizzy's up into 8th position in the Mercedes. Good stuff indeed there for Fizzy. And Roscoe's going to come back out, not quite there. As Asdog's also got past JJ as well. Good stuff then. As Asdog back in the 12th position. Coming down the back straight, and T. Sammy leads them from Sprint in second, but Sprint is now starting to level it out as such, isn't he? As he is now the 2.5 block. I wonder if AlphaTauri is going to put team orders. Remember what they did in Monaco? So it's Val and Roscoe. Val and Roscoe is having a good old ding dong of a battle down at turn number 7. Then Val is on the outside, so Roscoe is going on the inside. Is Val going to go up and under? Not quite then. And Roscoe has the high ground at the moment then. As they're coming through outside out of turn 9 as well. Now into the Singapore sling then, as I keep getting worried about what's glowing there, because my controller's glowing pink for some reason, which I've never noticed that before, but that might just be me, of course. As you can tell, I don't really notice a lot of things, do I? As Matt now is having a look then, as Sprint then, is Sprint going to let him through? Oh my goodness me! And it's Matt I think, I'm not sure if that was I think that was a let through, but it's a very late bit of team order there. Oh wow, I love that shot. Look at them all going over top of me. It's brilliant, isn't it? And there's another coming under the grandstand as well. 2 seconds then. Can Matt now get after the leader then, which is T Sammy? He has a softer tyres then. He needs to make hay then, whilst those medium tyres are in the groove, so to speak, isn't they? As this is a very quick race, isn't it? DRS has been enabled in this race. Look at that. There's Tim in the background now. Got both McLarens then in the. It's a Max's hand. Look then. As a Sprint now defending, and Roscoe is dropping down the order. Roscoe's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Roscoe is having some major issues, isn't he? Look at him. He's dropping all the way down. Roscoe is, and just watching him now, I think is he in the pits to change tyres, or was he having a drive-through penalty? It looks like he stopped. So yeah, he is. He's in the pits there. Roscoe said, "Look, Sprint now defended for all he's worth." Then as maybe I thought he's like weaving a bit too much there into the braking zone, but of course that was the Max Verstappen rule brought in, wasn't it? Way back in 2017 or 16, I think it was 16, wasn't it? Possibly. We all know about that saga, don't we? And if anyone remembers Mexico, then that was a crack. That was a cracking bit of team radio, wasn't it? Unfortunately, of course, Charlie Whiting, who's no longer with us, unfortunately anymore, is which has robbed us of a great man in Formula 1, hasn't it? 6 tenths of Matt is really gaining though on the back of T Sammy. It's half a second there. T Sammy, who's had the race lead for a lot of it. Asdog is past Val, and Val has dropped down to 9th, dropped down to 10th finish. Then he's going to go back up and under. He is trying to try, not quite then as well. Got to keep him on. This is Steve is now also on the back of Timmy as well, and Timmy is now 2.5 seconds back. So Hogg has got past his teammate. It's all going off here, it's all going off here tonight. Mason's also all over the back as well. And look at that, and T Sammy then is half a second back, and Matt is really going to be putting the squeeze on him, isn't it? Of course, Matt not in the championship battle at this moment, isn't it? So I'm wondering then, as look at Timmy, he's gone very wide then, and now Steve is alongside. He passes Timmy, he moves up into 5th position then, or does he? Because Timmy is on the outside there, but I think that move might be done and dusted then, or will it? Well, we'll find out as well. Yeah, of course, Matt is not currently in the championship battle, is he? So if he goes for a lunge, T Sammy surely he's going to have to jump out of the way, isn't he? But at the moment, T Sammy there is keeping Matt at arm's length then, which is what he needs to do, isn't he? So really, he has the high ground, doesn't he? He just needs to deploy as much energy deployment as possible, doesn't he? Down that back straight then. I think that's probably the best opportunity, isn't it? As Timmy there was pushing Steve through turn 8, I think that wasn't it? Goodness me, now it was a McLaren Haas. Well, of course, I don't think that's in development yet, is it? But of course, usually it's Haas and Ferrari, isn't it? Very close together. But McLaren very cosy with the Haas, wasn't they? And now we're coming out to the Anderson Bridge as well. Look, there's the two McLaren's new life there. And our driver has gone from 15th on the grid up to 7th as well. So some great performances out there, some cracking performances on circuit here tonight, and really good stuff indeed there. And some amazing work as well. Double N is still sticking to his guns, but he's down in 12th position now, isn't he? Unfortunately for Double N, perhaps he should have come into the pits under the safety car, but of course this is not done and dusted, is it? As he comes over the Anderson Bridge as well. But we'll keep an eye on that because that is going to be a very interesting battle, I think, in the not too distant future as well. On board Maxi once again, he is the championship leader. Timmy is not letting Steve go, is he? Since it's a Maxi getting a bit too heavy-handed on the old throttle, or getting heavy-footed, I should say, on the old throttle there as well. And look at this, and this is the battle for the lead. Once again, we've got another battle for the lead, isn't it? T Sammy hasn't been left alone at all in this race, has he? Remember back last season, T Sammy had a lot of the races his own way, hasn't he? But this season is completely different here in IRC, isn't it? The champion. We're seeing a lot more racing from the champion, and I absolutely love it there. And I'm not sure if T Sammy loves it or not, but I'm sure he does. He's a racer, isn't he? Matt is now right underneath the gearbox of that Alfa Romeo as well, but he's dropping back because T Sammy is quite quick in a straight line, isn't he? And what about Sprint then? Sprint's also got the Ferrari at arm's length as well then, as Oh, New Life is all over the back there, and he passes teammate. He moves up into sixth position there. Good stuff indeed then. And now then, as we're watching the McLaren there of Timmy there, and he is he's really struggling under the throttle there to really apply application. Double is coming to pits there. He's gone to the medium tires then until the end of the race then. So Double there has made his mandatory pit stop, and let's see where that puts him out at the end of this race. Well, we've got a bit of a queue of cars now, haven't we? With the two McLarens, and oh my goodness me, with the two McLarens to the Haas to Steve in fifth position. But once again, see at the moment, I can see his championship rivals there down the road there. T-Sammy is winning this race, and Maxi is currently on 12 points as well. So Steve is losing ground in this at the stage of the championship, isn't it? As Yanis said, great race till now, and it's been a great race, hasn't it? Up until now, brilliant 17th down there. Maxi is 3 tenths of a second. That is what 2 tenths of a second looks like in the real world. Incredible, isn't it? It's so close. Matt then is now a second back as well then, as we've now got 10 laps to go here in Singapore then. And I gotta say, I am absolutely perspirated here. Oh gosh, Sarah, I've done a lot of work here tonight, haven't I? So I'm gonna really earn that lie down at the end of this race then, as we're coming over the finish line once again. And look in the background at Steve then. Has Steve got the pace then to really get into the mix of this battle? And I think he would love to. He'd love to think so, wouldn't he, Steve? I think he does. And Steve hasn't really showed out and out pace here tonight. I think he's been unlucky as well in the race. But that safety car has really brought him back into the things, hasn't it? Really brought him back into the fold, hasn't it? So can Steve get himself into it? Well, at the moment he's 3.6 seconds away. He is not really setting the world alight, but Maxi is, and he's going on the outside. As once again, Sprint there is just parking his car right in the middle of the circuit. Fizzy is now all over the back of Timmy. No, he ain't, because Timmy is on. Oh my goodness, we're there alongside. As Fizzy there has just shut the door, slammed the door shut there, right on the nose there of Timmy. And Fizzy is now up into 7th position as well. Good stuff indeed. Alsto is also now in the points as well. So good stuff from Alsto. Lovely shot from the Ferrari, but we do not want to see that. We want to see what is going on in front of the Ferrari, because that is what is going on at the moment. But look at that. That's a beautiful work of art, isn't it? Car 96 from Maxi. And now we look forward then, and there is what's happening forward then. And Matt once again then, he needs to get past T-Salmon quite quickly, because those medium tires are going to start to really feel it as later on in this race, as all the hard tires then should get to the end quite comfortably. And look at this, and lovely. I love those curb shots. They're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Really good stuff indeed then. And look at this as we're coming into the twilight of this race as well. And this is round 10 of IRC, of course, then. I think it is, anyway. It is round 10 of IRC. Of course, next week then, after the race next week, that'll be half distance. And of course, then we might get halfway to knowing who is going to be the champion. But then again, who knows? Because this championship's got a lot more twists and turns, hasn't it? Longest season ever in IRC this season. 22 races, isn't it? It's a marathon, isn't it? And his Alstom has got past. Timmy is struggling. He's coming to the pits. Timmy has I'm wondering, has he got damage on that nose cone? Because he's really been struggling in that McLaren. And Timmy, once again, the bad luck just seems to hit the McLaren, doesn't he? And he's got a 5-second penalty as well. Therefore, Timmy, he's dropping down the order. And Hogg is back up in the 9th position after the nightmare that he had earlier on this race. And he is back out of the pits now. Then Timmy has said so. He's dropping down the order, but he will have a lot of fresh. He will have those fresh tires. A lot of grip there to use in abundance, as he is now out in 13th position, and he'll be in front of Roscoe, as Roscoe's a whole half a minute behind. And look at Maxi once again going on the he's really wearing out those tires, hasn't he? Steve has only gained 2 tenths of a second in the last couple of laps or so, so he's not at the moment gaining on these guys as much as he would like at this stage of proceedings, is he? And Matt's still behind there. T-Sammy looks like he has Matt at bay at the moment, but that can change in the twinkling of an eye here in Formula 1, can it? As we're back down into the Raffles Boulevard once again then, as we're just coming out of turn number 15, I think now, as I've been calling it turn number 15 all night, so I might be completely wrong with that, which I probably am there. But we're on board championship leader Maxi from 18th to 4th, and he's been fantastic, hasn't he? Really, I thought he's in the wall there. Of course, we've had the legends like Carter Kane in the wall, Henry around there, so I think we also had Ricardo in there as well, haven't we, one year as well. I think Bruno Senna also was in the wall in 2012 there. So there, the list of names go on there, don't they? I think Webber went in the wall there in practice one year as well. As now we're coming over the line once again. There's Steve, and that gap is still exactly the same. New Life though is going to be it's going to be feeding the pinch now from Fitzy, because Fitzy is only half a second back as well. They're on the same amount, or they're more or less on the same amount of tyre life, aren't they? Yeah, I think Fitzy's been done a good job here tonight, hasn't he? It's great to see Fizzy back in the thick of action, isn't he? And of course, I think that he has struggled on this game, hasn't he? Fizzy more often than not. He hasn't had the pace that he had on 2019, but here today I feel we've had more of the old Fizzy, haven't we? Tonight, of course, the man who won the moment of the season last season with one of the greatest wins you will ever see in league racing, the Japanese Grand Prix, as Maxi I thought was going very wide there into the wall, and he definitely sold me a dummy. We're coming down into the formerly known as the Singapore Sling as well. Rizzlesticks is in the pits then, and he is onto the medium tyres in the race, and Roscoe is also on the medium tyres as well, trying to get fast up there and probably take away a bit of glory from one of the top 10 runners as well, as Arsdog is in the wall. He's from 8th position there. He's clipped the inside barrier, and we got a virtual safety car. So Arsdog there is gone into the wall, clipped the inside wall of the Singapore Sling, and he's gone off in a big way, and he is out of the race then, and that is left the door wide open there for maybe Mason to get his first points of the season, but he has the old guard of Timmy and Roscoe behind him there, and those two there are not going to give up a point by any stretch of the imagination then. So we've got a race on our hands then towards the end of this one. Mason on 12 lap out hard tyres, Timmy on the medium tyres as well. Those he can do qualifying laps on those tyres as well, can he? What a shame for Arsdog there, who was after a very difficult opening stint to this race, then he got himself back into it, and now unfortunately he's out of this race and needs a second retirement, which is a very, it's got to say, it's very good stuff indeed, isn't it? Brilliant stuff from these guys there. To only have 2 retirements on lap 25 out of 31 here in Singapore. It's really good indeed. Timmy T7 there really getting the jump there on Matt, isn't he? And he is now through. Now he's got a 1 second advantage, and Matt's out of DRS range then. Yeah, it looks like the virtual safety car coming at the wrong time there, didn't it? For Matt. Then we're on board then with Max at the moment. He's in 4th position there. And New Life, oh my goodness me, there is Steiner defending the inside quite hard there, wasn't he? And that really put New Life right in the right out to stamp on the brakes. Goodness me there. And now we're just back watching Fizzy at the moment. He's 3 tenths of a second away at the moment. So it looks like New Life got the jump on Steve, didn't he? In terms of that restart back on, as we're on board now with Fizzy as well. And then we got a 3 car scrap then as Arsdog has left for session. He's going to be very disgruntled with that, and that is such a shame, isn't it? It's such a shame that from the former race winner, and now then T7 has got a 1.2 second advantage there, with Sprint there 1.5 seconds away from his teammate, with Maxi 4 tenths second away. I wonder, it's Alpha Tower might have a bit of a dilemma here, because I believe that Sprint might have let Matt through down after the Raffles Boulevard perhaps a couple of laps ago. So is he going to let him back through there, Sprint? Because if he is, he's got to be very careful, because Maxi is right on the wheel tracks, isn't he, of Sprint now. So that's going to be a bit of a dilemma there. It'll be interesting to see how it goes then as well, but of course I'm feeling that it's a nice dilemma to have though, isn't it? Of course I think Martin Spirit get on very well. They're a very good team duo, aren't they? As Steve is in the pits then, so major issues there for Steve, and the championship leader has lost both end plates there, and I'm sorry, the man who's taking the world championship, I say, has lost both end plates, and he is back in the pits, and a horrible day then for Steve, and he'll be losing second position if I'm not very much mistaken in the drivers championship. More or less. More or less. It might be anyway. As Hogg is in the pits as well. And so the later stages of this racing where concentration needs to be an absolute key, doesn't it? And we've got a couple of drivers that are coming in the pits. Steve is going as ball on the soft tyres. And Timmy is set the fast on the race on this. He is now hunting down then for some more points. And look at this. He's on the outside. He passes Mason. And he is 7th position. Good stuff indeed. And Steve comes out of the pits on the soft tyres. He is in 10th position. And Hogg is also coming on the pits as well. For Roscoe into the pits there for the Red Bull, and now then Hogg coming on the pits as well, and he potentially might have a couple of laps there to maybe make hay while the sun is shining. He's got a 3-second penalty as well. And Ron Boris then, so at the moment Timmy's got the fast lap down in 8th position. I feel that the fast lap might be with this man here then, as he is going to be really putting in some flyers now. Mason in his debut there, I got to say, is the pressure of the absolute utmost, isn't it here? As a yellow flag and 2 is that grow as we got a major issue there, as Gaz is in the wall there, and that is that's right off the track there, and It's just coming. It's coming over the Anderson Bridge there. So I wonder if he clipped the inside wall there and gone straight on there. And I think he has, hasn't he? That's really how he's been projected over there. Unfortunately, it's a yellow flag, but the yellow flag is finished now. Steve's got so much more momentum there. He passes Mason down the Raffles Boulevard, and he is through. Oh, he isn't, because he's ran wide there. He is ran wide, but he's got so much more momentum then, he should get through. Yep, on that short straight, he's through and up into ninth position there. Good stuff indeed from Steve then. So we're back with Fizzy then, who is all over the gearbox. Matt is all over the gearbox of T Sammy as they come down the back straight then. And once again, now T Sammy is so quick on the straight line. He's very quick on the straight line. T Sammy is good stuff indeed. And Maxi is just having a look on the outside as well. Then as the laps are now now counting down. Fizzy then is Timmy setting up fast out of the race. Said, well, watch out, because I think Steve will be setting the lap times ablaze on this one. So he's going to be going for qualifying laps now, Steve. And let's see how many points he can salvage that. I think he might only get as high as 8th here, then maybe a bonus point for fast up as well then. So but that might be pivotal later on in this season then. So you never know, as we've already mentioned, it is the longest season in Formula 1 in IRC history, of course. There's a Fizzy there. Whoa! Fizzy's off! He's in the wall! Oh no! And Fizzy there got on the power too early there at the Anderson Bridge there. He's damaged the end plate. And oh goodness me then. And that's not good at all then. He's got a 12-second deficit to himself and Val, his teammate. And then Val's got a 13-second deficit between himself and Timmy as well. It's Gaz left for session. Unfortunately, that's our third retiree in this race, which I've got to say is fantastic. Roscoe's got a 5-second penalty there for speeding in the pits, and Roscoe is retired from the race as well, unfortunately. Oh, look at this. It's now all over the button. Yellow flag in one then. Matt is now at 4/10 of a second away from the race leader at the moment, as he is gaining going into turn 1, but it's just not a long enough turn 1, is it, where he needs to be quick. I think T Sammy is really deploying a lot of energy, isn't he? So it's Fizzy coming in the pits as well. Roscoe is out of the race, and that's such a shame for Roscoe. That's our 4th retiree then. Now Fizzy then is in the pits, and he's going to have to change tires. He's going to have to change the nose cones. Well, he's on the medium tires, Fizzy. I wonder if he didn't have any soft tires left then in car 21 then. Fizzy is through there. Is he going to get out in front of these two battling duos as well then? So Steve then might be able to get a couple more points out of this. A very difficult day as well as he's deploying. He is the fastest man on the circuit, and yet Fizzy is dropped behind these guys whilst he's going into turn 1. That's a late maneuver. Oh no, Steve has spun it, and he has spun it there on the inside of turn 1, and he now Mason's back over to not finish. Fantastic stuff there from Mason. Steve there spun it, and I think that might be his and he's also getting on the power again and also half spinning as well. What a shame now for Steve. And oh dear then. So Steve then is having a difficult day today, isn't he? What a shame now for the man who's second in the World Championship. On board then with Mason. Then Mason has got the bit between his teeth. I think with Steve's tires too hot, but he's might be a bit too far back at the moment, but Steve, look at how much he is squirring around there. Really struggling. Into those soft tires are screaming hot after the spin there in turn 1, and because of that, Mason has now been put into the clutches there of Fizzy as well as they come down into the Singapore sling then as well. As they're just having a look then, but nothing doing done there. We've already seen Alstock. Oh my goodness, we've already seen Alstock having issues down there earlier on this a couple of laps ago as well. This is where Fizzy unfortunately damaged his wing, which is such a shame for Fizzy, because he's dropped from 6th position there down into 10th position. They only got 1 point to his name at the moment then, as Steve has now found his tires, found his feet, and he is away then. And now what about Fizzy breaking so much later than Mason tries to make it tough for him, but Fizzy's on softer tires, and he is through and up into 9th position now. Still a good debut from Mason. I think he's doing a fantastic job and good stuff from the Racing Point driver. Really good stuff indeed then. And now Fizzy then, his next target is Steve, who's on new soft tires, and as it looks like Steve is now stabilising those temperatures, and he should be now getting himself back into peak performance, so to speak. Mason's got a 3-second penalty, hasn't he? But I think that might be his one and only penalty as far as I can see. Maxi's had some issues. Maxi's dropped right down there. He's got damage there in the Ferrari, and Maxi there looks like he's got damage there. The championship leader. It's going to be the second time of the season, and the second race in a row where he's not going to be on the podium there for Maxi. So now there's some very difficult issues there. The Ferrari driver, the championship leader, and This is, of course, Steve, who's his closest championship rival, is having a bit of a nightmare out there. But of course, T. Sammy then, who is trying to strike whilst the iron's hot there, and he is on course there for the win. But he's got two very hungry AlphaTauri drivers who are doing a good job then. Fizzy's got past Steve, has he got Steve's on the inside? Oh my goodness me then! And they are rubbing wheels out, they're banging wheels out as they come down into the Singapore sling. So Fizzy's on the outside, Steve's on the inside. Incredible race and then. And look at this, how the track narrows here, but Fizzy's through, he passes, he's up into 8th position then. Fizzy down into, Steve down into 9th position then in the Haas. And so, Steve then was on course for 3 points now, unfortunately, as he's dropping away then. Those soft tires should not be done just yet though. As now we're just on board then with Sprint at the moment, and Sprint then is in the podium position. But then Matt is at 1.4 seconds away then on those medium tires. They've done 15 laps now on those medium tires, which is, I think it's the most out of anyone. Well, anyone's done medium tires, it's not then. So in the journey into the unknown now for the man who's on pole position, and a strong performance here from Matt tonight. No mistakes said. Same for Sprint and same for T-Sam as well. They've been absolutely impeccable, haven't they? Really good stuff indeed there from the front three. It's been absolutely mega stuff indeed. As now then is Matt is really struggling. I think I've wondered if those medium tires are gone. And so we're now just watching the AlphaTauri then going over the Anderson Bridge as well. Of course, Sprint, who won his first race in Monaco, didn't he? 2 races ago. And should have had second last one, didn't he? But he got on the power to her and unfortunately half spun it, which was such a shame, wasn't it? Let's take a full race and let's take a full look down the final class at the race ending classification here from Singapore at the moment. But of course, it's not the official classification because anything can happen. And there's also penalties to be. Oh, we've got Renault. There's doubles having submissions there. Doubles having submissions. He's in the pits there. He was on such a strong race, wasn't he? Up until that safety car. That safety car thing was quite. It was a major factor in this race for double. What a shame now. T. Sammy leads this race. Matt in second position there. Third position is Sprint. Fourth is Maxi. Good drive from 18th to 4th. New Life in 5th position. New Life is actually hunting down Maxi and might add to Maxi's woes here. Val in 6th position. Timmy in 7th. Fizzy in 8th position. Steve in 9th. And Mason on his debut in 10th position now. And he's got a 10-second gap between himself and Hogg. Then that might be the final point for the debutant. But fingers crossed there. We've only one lap to go. JJ in 12th position. Rizzle Sticks in 13th. A double there. Who's just appeared there. Comes out in 14th position. Retirements. Roscoe, Gaz, Azdog and PB all retired from this Singapore Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we're on board then with Sprint once again. Then we'll keep an eye to see what happens with the AlphaTauri as now it's officially at the fast side of the race there in 8th position and. In 8th position as well, we're on the 38, 229 there. Look at this, as we're having a glorious view of Singapore from just above T. Sammy. It's absolutely splendid, isn't it? Singapore is here tonight. Look at this, as he coming over the Anderson Bridge there. 3.3 second deficit now, and really good stuff indeed. Then as T. Sammy are on board, if it's a Sprint there, it's got by as Matt there, letting Sprint by there, and it got and that's very good. That's very good there from the AlphaTauri. That's a good dynamic, and that potentially could be what wins the AlphaTauri, the Constructors Championships. Of course, remember in the Constructors Championship at the moment, AlphaTauri are leading by 9 points there, and a good result today for AlphaTauri, because I think they got the most. I think they would have the most points actually in the Constructors. I think they will actually. Good stuff indeed then. As now then T. Sammy coming out of the final turn then for the 31st and last time. And this will be T. Sammy's fourth race win of the season. Fantastic stuff from T. Sammy. He is a man back on form. Sprint in second position now with 3rd position. Matt then. Great drive from both the AlphaTauris. Maxi in 4th position. Good strong drive from Maxi. 5th is New Life. Oh, and what's happened there? Oh no, and that looks like that Val and Timmy have come to blows there. Oh dear, and that's not good at all. But I think Timmy has waited for Val, and that's very good sportsmanship as well. I'm not sure if he'll have the same. Not sure if Fizzy's going to be too kind there. Val then, of course, will be screaming hot tires. And he comes out of the final turn. Val in 6th position, Timmy in 7th, Fizzy 8th. Hats off there to sportsmanship there for Timmy for waiting for him. Steve in 9th position there. Mason on his debut is going to get 10th position there. Brilliant stuff indeed there from Mason. Nicely done then. Hogg will be finishing in 11th position in the Renault. Let's look at this, and with the opposite lock there from the Renault driver indeed. Hogg had a very difficult start to this race, didn't he? Well, I think he did a very good job there to get 12th position. Sorry, 11th position. 12th position is Whistle Sticks there. JJ is following home in 13th position as well. Double is finished in 14th. But T Sammy is the victor. He's the man who takes all the spoils. And is now his 4th race win in 10 rounds here in IRC. Then great 17 there for T Sammy. And goodness me, then emphatic driver. He's under pressure from start to finish in this race. And he did a very good 17 there. And driver of the day there does go to Max there, of course, from 18th to 4th. Lovely stuff indeed there. Jansen, great race and a great winner, and also a great podium there. It was a great podium, wasn't it? Fantastic. Wow, absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it? And let's take a final look at the classification here from Singapore. This is round number 10 then of a 22 round season here in IRC Season 8. And T Sammy, his 4th race win of the season. And this is a brilliant race win as well, isn't it, for T Sammy? He was under pressure from start to finish. Sprinted again, another impressive drive. He's on a fantastic championship, isn't it? Matt, his 1st pole position of the season, and this will be his second podium of the season as well. So a great night's work there from Matt. In 4th position is Maxi there. Potentially could have got a podium there. Damages wing towards the end there, which really compromised him, but a great drive from 18th to 4th. New life on his return to IRC in 5th position. Great stuff. Val in 6th position. 7th position, Timmy. Great sportsmanship towards the end then. After not drawn by Val. Good stuff. 8th position is Fizzy, also getting fast as well. Steve in 9th position. A nightmare day for the man who's 2nd in the championship. And Mason on his debut getting 10th position. Hats off to the racing point driver. Hogan in 11th, JJ 12th, and Whistle Sticks 13th, double in 14th. Retirements, Roscoe, Gaz, Asdog, and PB all retired from this incredible race here in Singapore. And our next race we go to is actually we go to the land of the rising sun, which is of course the Japanese Grand Prix. That is round 11 then of this 22 round season. So good stuff indeed then. Good stuff indeed then. As the rounds are coming thick and fast, aren't they, here in IRC? Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been an absolutely cracking race. It really has, and it's been a long one, hasn't it? Join us in a week's time so we come back. No, we end because because Matt is in the party there, and we're going to have some words there from the man who's on pole position, who came third today. Matt, what a race for you today.
Yeah, got held up a bit in the middle, which really knocked me off, but I feel I could have won that one. I really do. Yeah, because
you did have the pace over T Sammy towards the end there, because you were on the 2-stop strategy, wasn't you? For the race there, and you looked very strong indeed.
Yeah, I think my tyres would have gone off at the end, but I think if I could have got past him early on, I'd have had a big enough gap to nurse the tyres through. But I just got held up. But yeah, great race. Congrats to T Sammy, and me and Sprint tried the switch so I could catch him, but it just didn't work. So position's back.
I think that your strongest race was in terms of performance, in terms of position, your strongest race was definitely Monaco, finishing 2nd. However, tonight I think your performance-wise, this was your strongest race this season. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I love the street track. This one, Baku, Monaco. So yeah, just got away that one. Podium's got to be happy with the podium, mate.
Oh, definitely. And do you feel that you're starting to find your form on this game then? Because you did mention earlier on in the season that you didn't find your feet as quickly as you did on the last game. Are you now starting to find some form?
Yeah, I wasn't quite feeling the game, but I've altered I've changed a few things on my setups, which is helping me, and the results are coming, which obviously helps your enjoyment of it. But yeah, it's just a little niggle with me there, that one that got away. So a bit miffed, sorry. But yeah, I think it'll take a while to sink in, but got to be happy with a podium, yeah, and a double podium for AlphaTauri.
Indeed, and I think you will also extend yourself in the lead in the constructors as well. And just before we go, can we talk about your pole position if we can? Because I've got to say, let's end on a high, shall we? Because that was a cracking pole position that from yourself.
Yeah, I took the decision to go out with about 7 minutes to go, and I thought that's going to be touch and go whether you get 2 runs in. And luckily, a few of the lads that did go out around that time said you'd never get 2 in. So I took the decision to box. Went out as late as I could to get the best track conditions, and yeah, obviously just got perfect lapping. There's a few mistakes in that lap as well, so I feel I could have got another 2 or 3 tenths out of it. Like I say, pole position, it's where you always want to start. I was pulling away at the beginning, and the tyres just went off a bit too early for my liking. So, and for once, a safety car helped me. It meant I could pit again for the mediums. I was always going to pit for the mediums and chase them down, but just wasn't to be.
Oh, unfortunately, and you did get a podium, though. I'd say, fortunately, and also you got I think that pole position was fantastic. So, yeah, very much. I think that was very much Lewis Hamilton-esque, wasn't it? And if you had 2 tenths in the 2 tenths a second in the bag as well, that would have been a mighty lap indeed. Then.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Then, as we are now going to finish the stream, because of course we are going to the land of the rising sun next week. Of course, that is halfway through this incredible 22-round season of IRC. It's the longest ever, isn't it? And goodness me, now we're going to have to have a break, I think, aren't we, after that one? Goodness me. Anyway, but join us next week there for the Japanese Grand Prix, the best race circuit in the world apart from Spa. See you then. Goodbye.